And does anyone remember?
I do have a question.
Yep.
What did you say, mate?
Would I be able to have quote unquote retroactively acquired some ammo for my bolter?
I'm gonna say we only do that in session, so we do represent, unless we.
Okay, it's fair enough.
Because then everyone.
Nah,
That's
you're
your
good.
punishment for not being here last week.
You can always beg your friend that built the bolter.
Answer.
Hey man, you got any more of them bolt shell?
Okay, so let's begin. You are in the city, Sarawak's Plaza Palace, and you are walking on these elevated bridges above the city level. Looking up, you see the crisp sunlight sort of piercing through the mist of sand hanging in the air. There is a orange-yellow sort of glow to the entire city, colored by the light of the sand. Light coming through the sand. There are birds, wild animals, and even though animals are everywhere, it is seen as a sign of luxury to have a pet. Often you will see a wealthy merchant walking through the street with what looks like a feline creature, or even pet birds. You, where did you end last time? So where are you currently? So I don't remember.
I think we ended on the discussion of the psyker, right?
Yeah, we were
where
hunkered up in a booby-trapped abandoned apartment.
Thank you.
And we were talking about where to go between like a jeweled consulate and the illegal rejuve clinic, and then talking about the psyker.
So you are currently, yeah, you can see it on the map even. So you're like almost in the middle of the city. And if that is the correct place, I think it is.
Seems correct enough.
And you are sort of in one of the lower floors, which the smog and filth of the lower levels of the city. Remember, these bridges are elevated. Most of the life of the city goes on above. Everything below is just manufacturing workers, filth, homeless people, workers have been laid off just waiting to die, and criminals. The entrance to the place that you are is kind of down this narrow pathway and catwalks next to a gothic dark building. And you were able to make your way into one of these hallways. It's like a maze, just endless rooms, and you managed to find a little hideout, place some booby traps, some tripwire, maybe an alarm, maybe a picture recorder. And you're currently sitting there, sort of looking up at the light above, and there's a little bit of like sand coming through one of the cracked windows. You sort of wake up. This is the next day, and you can smell this intense smell of rat piss, and sort of you can hear occasionally the blam of a gunshot go off in the horizon, some screaming, and they're muffled, and you kind of made your own little makeshift beds and so on, and Adurna, as you wake up, what do you look like? Make it as short or as long as you want.
Yes, as Perrin slowly gets up from where he has been lying in his tattered robes, he gets up with a new spring in his step that you haven't seen before, and he looks around, enjoying his new eyes with God, I haven't thought about this description. So
No, man, it's fine.
his wispy hair, as it frames his head, it goes down over two cables that come out from the side of his eyes and go along the side of his head and go towards his brain, behind his temple. And as he's looking around, his eyes make these soft whirring noises as he counts everyone in, makes sure that he hasn't lost any acolytes during the night.
Looking around, you see this man wearing a dark cape, hood, sort of get up. He's an old man. He has kind of hollowed out eye. No, you have real eyes.
I have eyes now. It's amazing.
Did the watermark bother you at night when you slept?
I slept.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't really think about it. Awesome.
So we're making that a thing now, huh?
Yeah. Gluth, you also wake up. You see this old man standing in the middle of the room. He's kind of just looking at all of you. What is your character doing right now?
Alright, so getting up, first thing he's gonna do is light up a low stick as he gets his gear and everything back together. Checking on the shotgun, make the actions working, and it's not all gummed up. And then, kind of off put by the weird old man just staring at them all sleeping.
Nice. What is your character?
It's nice to see you all.
Awesome. And Gluth, what does your character look like?
He's about young, pushing middle-aged, clean shaven around the jawline, and brown-haired, blue-eyed. Not super bulky, like fit, but not like bodybuilder kind of size. Relatively average.
Do you take off your helmet at night? Do the people see your face for the first time?
The law is faceless.
Do you sleep
The
with your
law
helmet
has
on?
no face.
Oh no. Do you sleep with your
Yeah,
helmet
his neck is a real mess.
on? Oof. That's dedication.
He's a neck model on the weekends.
So you literally sleep in the uniform. And you get up. You can feel this sweat dripping down the side of your cheek. And you just remember back to the Arbeit Academy. It's like this is nothing. Getting gnawed on by some rats. Sleeping in your uniform. This is all was just part of the job. And Squall. What are you doing right now?
Squall seen there kind of going through the motions, kind of been absent-minded for a little while there on autopilot, following everybody around. Had something a little bit on his mind when he'll finally kind of come to in the middle of. He's actually maintaining his chainsword and pistols. And just kind of looked a little bit dazed for a second and realized, oh, they should probably have been paying attention the last day. And just kind of try to roll through the motions, getting caught up with where the hell he's at. Kind of recollect himself.
Yeah, because you weren't here last time, right?
Exactly. It's make it to where he's just absent-minded during the whole last couple things he was in on autopilot.
Gotcha. What do you look like, Squall?
I mean, he's about 5'10", athletic build, old gray hair and gray eyes, covered in pollution scars. Hers, I think light tan complexion. He's currently got a mixture of a guard vestment that has definitely seen some better days, and a, for lack of better terms, ragged cloak that he wears.
Mac, where are you right now?
Mac is currently still laying in his makeshift bed in the corner, and he has all his gear stacked in between him and a wall. He's hugging it. He's in sort of a fetal position. Occasionally, when the silence drops, you can either hear him snore or a wet fart passes out, which is audible enough for it to hear, but not enough for it to be heard outside. Anyone close by you might smell it, but if you're not within a couple of feet, then no worries. He has his goggles on, and he has a somewhat weird looking cap on his head to keep everything together and not get pissed on. and he just seems to be continuously sleeping, snoring, and ignoring the rat piss around him.
Alright. So you wake up, and you sort of... First thing you do is to listen at the door, check if anyone's there, and it's just so quiet. There's probably no one living at least 2 floors above you. And the whole place is just dead, and you have some time to yourself. And that's where we begin.
You skipped me.
Oh no.
Have at it then.
Go,
You hate me that much?
Yeah.
I mean, we all do, but let's just not pretend otherwise and have you go.
If I skip you, that means I hate you. Definitely.
Well, Victor got up before everyone else because he has hard times sleeping because his mind is always moving, the wheel's always turning. Never not a moment that he's not thinking or in-depth thinking of things that he needs to do or that have been done. He's currently hunched back, facing the corner of the room by himself. And what everyone can hear but can't see is the sound of metal being scraped upon. And as you can hear, it's just continuous. It's constant, like a rhythm, as if it's following the same engrave in whatever he's etching and with whatever he's using to etch into it. As he stops whatever he's doing, and the room becomes silent from the noise from previous. You can see that he's placing something on his, as if you've never seen anything from Victor before, because he's never removed his mask in your presence. But he is currently placing the mask back on his face. At which point he stands up, sheaths whatever he was using to make that noise, and then turns around, and as you can notice, while still donning his tattered green cloak that he normally wears, you can see that the mask that he's wearing currently now has a line going through the left eye, vertically, as if it was going through the top of his head down to the cheek. You may proceed.
It's up to you guys. What do you do?
Well, the Acolytes, but what do you say about checking out that jewel consolidator today, or do you think we should start by chasing a bit more of the paper trail, so to speak?
Why? What are we talking about now?
In terms of the paper trail, we could go after either this Violet Provine, Theus Donica, or somebody along those lines.
Indeed.
Wasn't there like a crook we could go after?
It might be easier for us to just take a look down at your consolidated. Just interrogate anyone that we need to.
Are we going to go in loud, or what do you want to do?
Fence the quiet.
We could start quiet. I mean, we haven't had much luck keeping it quiet anyway.
You
An
speak
attempt
for
can
yourself.
always be made.
Are you guys talking about going after the Psyker? Who are we referring to?
I honestly have
guys,
no clue.
Wake up.
I thought we were discussing going after the Psycho, but we could certainly go after this other person as
Okay,
well.
I just wanted to make sure because you said criminal, and I didn't know if that was the criminal that we talked about last session, or if it was a different.
Yeah, from what we got, the illegal Rejuve Clinic and the Jewel Consolidated were places that had been frequented by Caius that we assume have some sort of connection with this.
Additionally, the psyker that did the murder, or what we assume was the psyker that did the murder, seemed to have disappeared that way when we traced them through the network. Looking through different vidcasts, I believe.
If we are thinking of attempting to deal with this psyker of renown, I believe we are ill prepared for such a task.
Indeed, I think looking into the paper trail and maybe seeing if we can gather an ally or two might be a better course of action.
If that's the case, then Mr. Donaker is the Magister of Justice.
That's a good point. Maybe he would be willing to give our more scholarly friends a time to look through the records as well.
We have to assume, because of his place of power and renown, that he will not be alone.
Agreed.
I'm huge.
In his nest. To strike him, we do it in his nest, where he thinks he's most secure. But to find out all the details, obvious.
Indeed. I do find it unlikely that we would find the psyker if we want to make a strike instead. Them staying in such a central part and at the same spot where they disappear from the streets would seem a bit poorly planned in my eyes if you're trying to be the ever-elusive Weber.
I do believe that fighting the creature in his den would be ill-advised.
He'd be prepared for us there.
I'm not sure it is really his den.
It'd be
it might
funny
just
though.
be an entrance. It would truly be funny if it was his den. And we have a decent amount of weaponry if that is the case.
Nah, we never have we never have a decent amount. We're always always.
Tell me, what do we have in the back of the car now?
Hey, autocannon, it seems. It's only pointing backwards, so unless you face the back towards the entrance, then yeah.
Just make a nice little sliding stop in front of and get the back towards it. Also means we are in the right spot if we want to escape.
Maybe you should learn how to drive backwards.
Maybe you should learn how to maybe you should have learned how to place a goddamn gun correct. Why the hell did you place it in the back of a van anyway?
Subtlety.
Because that's the only place it would fit.
Fuck subtlety.
Back on track, ladies.
We could just visit the duel and do some talking. Maybe get a reading on them. See what they think.
Sure. Let's just get going. I'm bored anyway.
We should possibly figure out what ties this man has.
Agreed. I was hoping that maybe we could do some talking there at the duel and get some clues without having to.
Well, let's stop talking and let's get moving.
See what kind of connection he has to the Moan family, because from the records that we pulled up, all of them seem to have died under mysterious circumstances.
Indeed. If you want, we could rather investigate that trail instead. It's just that I'm ill-equipped myself to go through records and such.
Alright, I'm gonna cut a fucking cord here. We're going to Jewelers and that's it. I'm getting done sitting here. Let's go. Pack your shit, get in the car, you got 5 minutes.
Under what premise do you make this decision?
Because of the premise that I'm tired of sitting on my ass. And besides, I'm the fucking driver.
You go out and stroke your baby.
You got 5 minutes.
I say we try and gather support first before we confront the Psyker.
Very well. Where would you suggest gathering support? Furthermore, I don't think the Psyker is likely to be at the duel.
No, I don't suspect right now. What I'd say is we find out what kind of target he's going to next. Because he seems to be active. Something seems to be actively going after the Moan family. Or contacts of Icarus. As we saw with the recent murder scene. So if we can find that, then we can go to Mr. Donaker.
Indeed.
Present our findings, and then get his sanction for it.
That's not a bad plan. What are you thinking, Petri?
We can cross-reference video evidence of previous Moon murders with this current one.
Indeed.
That is true. We could go to her brother's estate, because he was murdered there as well.
I believe that is perhaps a good first action. Seeing as we already have this cover and authority to investigate her murder, it should be possible to get in there without too much fuss if we act now.
Let's move.
Agreed.
Alright, guys.
Agree with the hot.
You leave your hideout. What do you do with the booby traps and so on? Do you just leave them there?
Packing.
Pack them up.
Surprise!
I'm
sent
also
them this,
rewarding the dogs that helped guard us during the night and change into clean, nice robes.
Aw.
Yeah.
Everyone gets an inspiration point for awesome role playing. And as you leave the room, you kind of look behind you. You step on some glass that sort of smashes under your boots. And the noises that you make are kind of piercing and they kind of, you're all on attention from having slept through the quiet night for the first time in a long time. Even though there's this occasional loud noise, it is otherwise very quiet here. Coming out to the city itself, you step out in relative sunlight. It's a bright day. Sun is coming up. The light is a little bit more crisp now. Where are you? Where is your car? Your vehicle?
No, someone sold my motorcycle.
I believe
the
we...
vehicle's in the garage.
Yeah, I believe you just parked it back at Mobius 21 at Jericho's place.
I believe we should go get that. And just keep in mind that Jericho has likely been affected by a psyker good with telepathy.
Now, as you leave, you notice, you look up, and you see several Askellonlanders with strobe lights. They're searching these elevated bridges. You see several guards patrolling side by side. The streets are a little more empty than before. Several of these flying vessels sort of hover above buildings. The light slowly hovering up and down, illuminating windows and reflecting the light down on the city. You see several guards stop people in the streets and interrogate them. and I want you to roll a d.
Who wants to be the victim today?
I can be it. I can be it.
Gilles.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
my
be
turn again. I feel like
I crit
have
failed
eyes.
myself to death. It's fine. I'm not doing it.
21.
Very nice. Perrin, as you pass one of these yeoman guards, if you don't remember what they look like.
21 corn berserkers appear.
Exactly.
Empire
And
knows
exactly one Nurgling.
So, they would look a little bit like the guys on the right there. Pretty heavily armored. Right now they're wearing all their armor. They have monotask servo skulls hovering around them. And coming up to you with heavy steps. They make sure to cover the entire bridge, walking with wide steps. One of them lifts his visor and spits at your feet. He's about to walk over to you and stop you. What do you do, Perrin, to disrupt him?
Well, why would I disrupt this honorable guardsman? I, of course, want to talk to him.
Excellent.
Ah, greetings, good sir.
Greetings, citizen. Identify yourself.
Ah, Perrin Amorosis.
He steps over, pulls out a pretty big bolt gun, and kind of just rests it on his knee, kneeling slightly. And he kind of looks back and forth.
Yes, here are my papers. I hope they are in order.
What do you hand him?
I hand him the well-forged papers made by Callus during last session.
And what do they show?
They show my identity as upstanding citizen and sometime trader within the local area.
He kind
Occasionally
of glances
trading
down.
in information.
Right. He kind of glances down at the paper. You can tell that he doesn't even look at it. And he kind of just waves it a couple of times to straighten it out. He goes, "You're an unusual group. What are you doing in Aventine?"
We're trying to figure out what exactly is happening. I'm sure you can understand the confusion this morning here. Has anything happened?
Why do you ask?
Because it didn't look like this when I went to sleep yesterday night.
He'll go, "None of your business. Why are you here?"
And as I'm trying to direct his thoughts, I would like to read his mind.
Awesome. Do it. This is one of the moments where I would roll against your subtlety, by the way.
Surface thoughts. Oh, this guy's pretty cute. I wonder what he's doing later.
You got it.
I would like because I didn't want to step on anybody when they were talking, but I did before we left out.
Yeah.
For a note, I did put my respirator on.
Nice.
I don't know if that's going to affect you or not, but just so you have that.
Two of the other guards kind of walk in a half circle surrounding you. They pull out these pretty big freaking guns and kind of just rest them at their belts. The guy standing in front of you is going to look at the papers. Do you remember the deceive test to forge them?
Yeah, I believe it was only 1 or 2 degrees of success. Because of the whole, writing in the car issue.
He's going to hand the paper back to you. And one of the other guards is going to step up. Can I have a look at that?
Naturally.
He grabs them.
It's actually 4 degrees of success.
4 degrees.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, this guy's gonna go, this doesn't look right. And he's gonna wave his partner over. They're gonna step aside and start talking to each other, looking at your papers. What do you do?
I,
Did you
basically
hear him
just-
say it doesn't look right?
Yep.
I'm hopefully reading something from this fellow meanwhile. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Roll power check. He thinks you look highly suspicious. and out of place.
Are these the only 3 guards that are currently stopping people, or are there more down? I'm just gonna try and sneakily walk past them casual while they're busy talking to each other and the other is focused on.
Do a stealth test. You succeed.
See you
While
later,
this is
nerds.
going on, Mac, you're kind of standing there in the middle of the bridge. How do you manage to get away undetected?
I just, while the yeoman guard is busy with Perrin, I just keep on walking. I just slowly keep on walking. They just act like
the rest of
The
you
one,
see
the
Mac
one he was talking.
Conspicuous whistling.
previously a part of the group.
They're not the
Now
droids
suddenly he looks like another pedestrian walking down the street. And he does this with the greatest of ease. He just cuts you loose and keeps walking.
Ah, lovely. I will turn to the guard again. I believe you also might be interested in knowing that we are helping in investigating the murder of Lady Moan.
Show me your hands. He's gonna raise his bolt gun, point it at your chest.
Perrin is gonna show his hand, and the other one that is holding the staff is leaning against. It's just like, should I drop my staff?
He doesn't say anything. The other guard walks up to you, Raish, and he's gonna pull you aside, and he's gonna go. What is an arbitrator doing here? Why are you with them?
I've been dispatched by Marshal Lord Willem to investigate the murders of the Moan family. These are my specialist consultants for the case.
You don't have any authority on Aventine. You're lying.
Marshal Lord Willem has authority over the entire sector.
He looks over. Does a... Okay.
While that's going on, Squall wants to also try to slink into the shadows.
Nice.
Leaving only the upstanding citizens.
He's gonna go...
Quote unquote upstanding.
I'm here to assist investigations. I'm not here to take them over.
You don't have any part in any investigation on Aventine. You don't have any jurisdiction here.
Like I said, I'm not taking your jurisdiction. I'm here to provide specialist aid.
Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
Can I make a test to determine whether or not these guys are actually legit, or if this is just some kind of scheme to shake people down?
Do a
Scrutiny?
scrutiny, exactly. Yes. You get a plus 20 on it.
Woo, 1 degree.
Victor, they look a little sketchy.
Victor is going to slowly come up to the guard that's holding a gun up to Perrin. And...
You seem to be more fixed on whether our papers are legit. But what about yours?
He goes a little pale. What are you talking about?
Perrin catches the bull. Does he recognize any signs of any of the criminal cartels in the area?
Do you mean like actual criminals?
Actual criminal cartels and smugglers or such. We're coming from a slightly rougher area after all.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no. No, you don't.
Okay.
Can I look to see if they have anything that a normal cop would have? You know,
Absolutely.
any like identification badge, any kind of things to actually record. That'd be a.
Yes. You can do a common lore Arbeit test. These aren't Arbeit, but they're equivalent. You get a plus 10 on They're definitely wearing fake badges.
Fake badges.
Yep.
Mike presses down in his comm bead and transmit. So, you guys almost done there, or are we running into trouble? He just waits a couple of 100 meters away.
I'm gonna leave the comm bead frequency open as I say this. You know, the precinct would be very interested in seeing why somebody is forging badges to uphold the law.
Forging badges, what are you talking about? Drop your weapons. He's gonna pull
Mac.
out his
Good
larger
sir,
gun.
please point that to someone, to your friends.
He's gonna pull out his much larger gun, and they're all gonna point their guns at you.
One of them is probably pointing at his friends.
Right. Yes, he is. So one of them immediately points at his friends, and yeah.
I'd recommend not obstructing the Emperor's justice.
Do any kind of fellowship check, check you want.
Unless you want to learn what a interrogator shock mall feels like.
Could I do an intimidate based on willpower?
Yes, I'm gonna let you do it this time.
Still failed.
Ah, shit. Oh well.
Can I try and intimidate with the shock mall comment?
One of them is going to snap as the guy pointing the weapon at his friend immediately points it back at you. He's gonna run forward. Get on your knees! Get down! He's gonna kick you in the stomach, Perrin. And do you want to try to stop him?
Oh, why would I? No, I'm just gonna take a step away.
Victor would also impose himself in between this guy and Perrin.
Okay.
And Mac is just done with it and is gonna fire a sniper rifle shot into the back of his skull. Or at least
Are you sure?
from far range, hell yeah, I have a sniper rifle ready to go.
Okay.
Gunfire! No, shit. Oh well, we're doing this.
Alright, we're doing this.
Silenced weaponry.
Okay. The guard is going
Well,
to...
we're doing this.
So the
He's
guard
kicking
is,
me in the stomach.
Yeah, he's kicking you in the stomach and is basically, unless you want to stop him.
Nah, I failed my roll to
Okay.
Can I make like an acrobatic? No, not acrobatic. Or I guess acrobatics to, like I said, impose myself in between the two of them as he's charging.
Absolutely. No, you can just do it. It is more or less trying to intimidate you, and you can do a willpower test, apparently.
Oh yeah, I'm good with those. Actually, let me check if I have any mods on that. Was that a fear test you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reducing that with degrees of failure by 5, so I'm fine.
Awesome. Okay, so he doesn't manage to intimidate you. They're gonna keep shouting, and I want all of you to do a fair one test. Currently, there is an Aquila lander with its spotlight pointed at you, hovering above you.
You said a fear one?
Yep.
What is that, willpower?
Yeah, it's just straight willpower.
That is willpower -1, -10.
Perrin is gonna just tap his macrobeat as he's getting shoved away and get ready to scatter.
I failed.
Indeed.
I'll
We
use
just
the
woke up. We're not ready for this.
Apparently not.
I'll use the inspiration to read.
Yep. And...
Nope, it got worse.
Okay.
You're as afraid as I am now.
Does anyone have 3 degrees of failure or more?
Both.
Both?
No, for the first one.
Does anyone...
Well, you don't
Yeah, I
take.
had 2.
You don't take the lesser.
Oh,
You if you use the inspiration, you take the new roll.
fail with 3 degrees. Raish. Your last roll is the one that counts. Raish, what about your character thinks that this situation is tense? Like, everyone else can kind of hold it together. I'm gonna say that these guys dressed up as upholders of the law, and they are definitely not. This triggers something deep within your spirit. The injustice, them claiming your role and holding you at gunpoint. You take... oh god. You take 3 insanity points. You are also panicking. You can do a shock test. So you're not in combat, so you don't need to do it. However, you gain...
3 insanity.
Okay. You gain 1 fatigue as well. You're warm, you're sweating, your uniform is just clinging to your body. You're starting to breathe heavily. You look at these guys and you just want to destroy them. They're insulting the law. They're insulting you, your uniform, everything that you are. They're ordering you to get down. What are you gonna do?
Did
asked
Mac
him.
already shoot one of them?
Yeah, I
Are you sure you wanna
actually
do that,
did,
Mike?
but
Are you sure you want to do that?
yeah, just
Okay.
one. I have a sighted sniper rifle, and I rolled a 58 against the 90, 13 impact plus 9. and
So
3
you're standing at the corner of the street, and your silenced weapon goes off. And I'm gonna roll a couple of times here.
Indeed.
Oosh. Okay. As soon as you fire a shot, you can hear the echo, and you see one of the spotlights immediately fix on you, Mac. You are now illuminated. There are several guards patrolling the street who start running in your general direction. There
And
are
I
about
asked the
150
guards
meters away.
threatening us to shoot the Kilo Lander.
Yes.
That's not a good roll. Let's re-roll that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's better.
To shoot at the Aquila?
To shoot at the Aquila, 2 degrees of success, 2 of them to willpower against.
Definite fail for this guy. So you're all gonna hear at this point this horrible, loud. It sounds like an autocannon. The streets explode with shrapnel. You see 2 of these men kind of flying off in the horizon, and you can all do a dodge test. I'm gonna give you a -10 to that.
Still bad. Also, are we on a street or are we on the bridge? We're kind of switching
Same
scenes.
thing.
Alright.
I just go in the street.
Holy shit, I actually passed.
Right, wait. Yeah, that's only 1 degree of success.
Victor, you're kind of standing there looking at these bolts go off, and the yeoman guards go flying in different directions. All of you kind of scurry off into the back alleys, and we can do a few rolls
Victor
here.
doesn't dodge. He just sticks his mechanical legs into the ground and just braces for impact.
Let's see how this goes.
I thought he just timidly started walking slowly.
Okay. I'm gonna roll some damage dice. Good, bad. You
And now the
take-
question is for who?
For Petrie. Petrie, you take 20 explosive damage.
Okay.
6 penetration.
Is any of that mitigated by armor?
Everything, yeah.
So since my head has higher armor than the rest of my body, how is that factored?
This is coming from above, so I'm gonna say the bolt actually hits you. No, I'm gonna say it hits your chest, so you can calculate your body armor.
Okay, so I soak 5 of it? Or 6 of it? You said pen 6, so 5.
Petrie, you are blown away, flying through the air. You kind of ricochet off of one of the railings on the bridge, and you slide over to some stairs. Perrin is hiding behind the stairs, and it kind of catches you as you roll over your metal pieces and mechadendrites, rolling. How are you doing right now?
Currently in the negatives.
How much?
What was that? 20, and then I absorbed, so 15, -4.
15, -4?
I'm at -4 right now.
Okay. The force of the blast sends the target sprawling through the ground. The target is knocked backwards 1d5 meters, stunned for 1 round, and is knocked prone. That's not too bad.
Not as bad as it could be.
Yes. So
But I'm
Yeah.
currently unconscious, so.
no, not at all.
Now you're
Oh,
awake.
are you not unconscious? Okay.
I'm just letting you slide down the stairs and land against the hand railing on the small platform below.
Yeah, I'm getting the hell off the bridge down towards the street.
The gunfire keeps going for a little while longer, and the last thing you see is an arm of one of these yeomen, men in yeoman uniforms, sort of fly off. And you just see it flying through the air into down below.
I would keep an eye actually out on that bridge, just to make sure that all 3 Yema guards do perish.
Perrin, you kind of peek your head up and you see these yeoman guards. The last thing you see, one of them just fumbling for his weapon, grasping it as he falls, running forward, kind of like he's trying to hold on to a ball. And you see a shell hitting the ground below him, and it takes a little forward flip, and you see that his legs are completely torn open, and he's definitely gonna die.
And I turn to the others. I think we covered our tracks. Let's take a different route.
Yeah, let's stay off the bridge for a little bit.
Yeah. And
Okay,
Perrin is gonna go down and just knock on Petrie, then gingerly climb over him and get down the stairs.
I want everyone to do a stealth test.
Again.
Like, is this just to evade them?
This is just to blend in and get away.
What if I just want
Just
to run
say
at the
word.
speed of God?
Yeah, we're just running away.
Fine. How fast do you run?
How fast do I need to run?
At
Very
least a
fast.
couple of blocks.
Faster the better.
I will use my $1 million bionic legs and get the fuck out of them.
Yes. So what's
I
your-
will attempt to be sneaky, but I'm pretty sure that while my bionic legs are going, it would not. It would
Yeah.
not.
So everyone else is like sneaking down these railings while you, Petrie, you reveal your true power level, and you just start bolting down the streets. What is
It's all
your
those
movement
9Ks I run.
speed? What is your movement speed?
Well, when I sprint, my movement speed, if I run, is 12.
Are you sure? I think it should be more.
What? That's so low.
No, it's
Yeah,
more.
that's
Is it?
that's like a charge distance.
I think it's more.
Yeah,
charge
my
is
run
set.
speed is 24.
Yeah.
Mine's 30.
Just realized this whole entire time my mic's been up so no one can hear me.
Mm.
Ah.
I thought you guys were just ignoring me.
Ah, classic. Okay, well, what do you do, Squall?
I was gonna say originally, at this point, most of the things I was gonna do were now redundant. But originally, it was gonna be as he's trying to, even if they were sprinting, I was still gonna stick to the shadows and everything, but make sure to help our giant mechanized friend up.
Gotcha.
And I actually do want to. I'm gonna run with them, but in a offset satellite orbit. Basically, kind of like stick to more the alley side, higher elevations, not with the main group per se, but right within a rapid distance to them.
Gotcha. You hear the whizzing sound of this Aquila lander flying by one of the buildings, kind of hovering above the other end of it, looking for survivors. There is a puff of smoke spreading through a quarter of the city. You hear screams, people running. And by the time they kind of get to the place, the rest of you manage to blend in. Victor?
So,
Yes,
movement is calculated by agility bonus, and I have 27. So, run is 6 times, so it is 12.
But you have some kind of jumping thing, don't you?
I have bonuses to jumping, yes.
What is that?
My bionic legs give me a plus 20 to it.
Plus
Oh,
20.
wow.
So I'm gonna say you would probably use that to your advantage, and
Ding.
you just see
That running, bounding.
so you see Victor kind of just bouncing off the stairs that you're running down onto a catwalk, and it just starts bolting and running, jumping between buildings, and it disappears.
Into the night.
Yes.
Make
I'm
sure
gonna
at this
say-
point to send a message to Mac.
Mm.
Bail.
Yes. Mac,
GTFO.
how do you want to get away?
Rolled really well on my stealth checks.
Nice.
I slip away.
As soon as you fire a shot, you definitely hit the guy. The second shot goes off, hits the Aquila lander. That's when the shooting happened. As soon as you see that, you run off, hide behind some trash, probably disappear down into the city. It takes all of you a few, I'm gonna say, probably 1 hour to meet up. You're standing in a filthy back alley in Lower Hive, looking up at the monorail above. You can hear people screaming, running above you. That's where we begin.
That was a load of fun. That was really fun. Where did it all go fucking wrong?
Subtlety. Very nice.
Yeah,
I didn't expect anything less from you, Mac.
indeed.
I mean, you guys got out because of me. Like, that situation was gonna go tense as hell.
I mean, it always was, but, yeah.
I'll take my applaud in a couple of hours, don't worry about it.
Alright. So how do you figure we get to the car? Should we send you along, perhaps, and hope that you can pick us up?
Yeah, sure, just
Now
wait
that we're
here.
forced to sneak, I don't think it's a wise idea for all of us to try and sneak with this group into the higher quarters.
Probably our two sneakiest guys go and get the car.
Yeah.
You
the
and
rest
me.
of us can do some talking, maybe in these quarters. See if we have allies on the grayer side of morality.
Perhaps you should just stick around and stay here and not be talking to anybody. Because remember, even though we're sneaky, we're also the most capable guys of getting you out of pain. And no offense, these guys are rather shoot to kill than just asking friendly questions.
Oh,
Isn't your regular 24/7 dollar store or script store? that you can just go up and ask whatever. You're probably gonna get a stub revolver against your chrome, and they're probably gonna pull a trigger if you don't answer real fast.
Well, I mean, if I
Well,
answer
they're also not
fast,
the
if they don't
police.
remember after, I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
Doubt it. So Mia and Squall are gonna get the car. If you guys, what I expect is gonna happen, are gonna die, please do not voice it over the combi so I can drive easily.
Sure, I'll just send my coordinates so you can pick up the Rosette.
I'm picking you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Nice.
Squall's gonna walk over to Victor
Mhm.
and hand him his Obscura injector and his manacles, and just look at him and be like, "Don't let him be stupid. But if you need it, you might find use for these. Stay quiet, for the love of gods."
Discretion is not our strong suit.
Clearly.
He's gonna
I can
kind
at
of
least say I
reluctantly
get-
take them, and as he grabs them, his arm is just going to sink to the ground, as his arm is hardly able to support the weight of the man.
You're looking over at Victor now. All you can see is Macedondrites giving off sparks. There's this liquid, thick liquid, kind of running down one of the Macedondrites. It's slightly broken and it keeps twitching back and forth. He looks bothered. You're standing in a street now, surrounded by what looks to be just homeless people, manufacturing workers. It is it's like fish in a barrel. No one is going to point you out down here.
Indeed. Victor, excuse me, I'm assuming that you would not mind some healing for the flesh underneath.
As you say this, you can notice that the front side of Victor's cloak is pretty much missing at this point, as it just took like the frontal assault of a giant explosion just occurring in his face. And as you notice this, you can see that there's a secret compartment that opens up that houses the mechadendrite that he used. And it is currently he's trying to currently work on himself to stitch up any of the at least fleshy bits.
Nice. You can do a Medicaid test if you want.
Yay!
Oh.
Success.
Right there.
Yeah. And Mac, you want to go get the vehicle?
Yep.
Okay.
Together with Squall.
I'm gonna say that
Stealthing there.
both of you, with your incredibly high stealth, have no trouble going through the lower levels of the city. Coming up to Mobius 21, you walk up these stairs next to the large spire, open the garage, sort of slowly roll out with your vehicle, back door closed, and no signs of weapons or any other modifications you've done. Where do you want to go?
We're going back to pick up Ed and Andy.
So
Squall make sure that we for him, he's obviously not activating it or anything, but he's gonna kind of chill out near the rear area where the autocannon would be, just in case.
Nice. The rest of you meet up, and you now have the vehicle. What do you want to do?
So, we go into the estate investigation, or are we going to decide to have a change of plans?
Well, the estate will probably be cordoned off by yeomen right now. And considering what just happened, the yeomen may not be so forthcoming with us right
Well, they don't know who did that. No one that saw our faces is alive anymore.
They don't, but considering there's just a giant shooting on a bridge, they may be more jumpy than usual and less
I mean, they
inclined.
have been having shootings on bridges the past few days.
with
Nonetheless, they are sure to be a bit tense.
Do want to try to do a recall of my memory to see if I noticed if any of them had sent out or appeared to have sent out a comm signal, like if they were messing with their
The
communication.
ones that died? The ones that tried to mug you?
Yes, the ones that were trying to shake us down.
Right. So, just from your recollection of the three of them, you can do a logic test.
Alright, I doubt it, but does total recall come into this?
So, remind me of the talents.
Trivial. Okay, I'll read it off real fast. It is total recall. The character can automatically recall or automatically remember trivial facts or pieces of information about the character might feasibly have picked up in the past. When dealing with more detailed or complex facts, such as exact layout of defense networks, GM may require an intelligence check.
Nice. Yeah, definitely relevant here. Everyone is distracted by the explosions and these guards flying off, and you would probably remember exactly what happened. Thinking back, you don't recall them ever accessing their Voxcaster or their microbeats.
Alright, so Squall will take this point and be like, they didn't send out any comm. So
Of course
far,
not.
we are on what appears to be the clear. Unless they had some hidden means of communication.
But indeed, if you would prefer not talking with those friends, we could instead see if the Jewel Consolidated maybe has a lower entrance. They should have somewhere to pick up their goods after all.
Let's just scan the area below city.
Business.
yeah, let's try and access the Jewel Consolidated first then.
Sleuthing is my specialty.
Everyone agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome.
Does anyone else want a new face?
He's doing makeovers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
if you want to be recognized easily. I mean, there's no saving you, Mac, but I mean the rest of you.
I mean, I saved myself pretty well, pretty boy, but just make sure that your face looks nice enough.
Actually, Squall will ask if you have a paint kit. He actually wants to do a different schematic on his respirator, as a just in case. Call it a nervous habit.
Awesome. You get an inspiration point. Does anyone else want to change their face? Their appearance?
If we're going into this place, then can we use that paint kit to try and cover up some of the more obvious Arbite symbols?
Some of the what?
The more obvious Arbite symbols,
Do you want to use paint to paint over them?
or if face change works like that. I'm not sure if it only works on
So,
skin or if it works on
if you have
material.
a
No,
disguise-
I just
if you have a disguise
change
kit, you
your
can do
body, but if you want to borrow a robe, I do have this. And he holds up a very tattered robe with several holes in it.
Well, I wouldn't go out on a Friday night with it, but I'll take it.
Awesome.
I was gonna say, Squall will offer up his cloak to people because even though he has guard armor underneath, he's over time he has adjusted it to where it does not immediately appear to be like the guard vestment on first glance. It looks more like, say, Wastelander.
Gotcha.
If needed, he'll offer up if anyone needs it, his cloak
Awesome.
to help obscure themselves, looking specifically at Victor, even though it's kind of hard to obscure him.
He's kind of just still sitting there trying to manage his well-being.
I don't know if I could assist him or not, because I do have a Medicae.
Sure.
I don't know if I
Absolutely.
could assist him or not.
Well, did
Alright.
anything happen when I made a Medicaid check?
So you would heal the amount that it says in the book. So that's 1 degree. I think that's 1 wound.
Oh no, no.
Unfortunately, you
I
don't
don't-
get
I-
assistance.
Yeah.
He
I
grabs
look
the
at you and
manacles
realize
he gave me
they're
earlier.
dormant
He's like,
beings.
"Here, let me help."
Let me free up your hands. That is exactly what it is. He contemplates for a minute. Actually, no. Squall legit contemplates for a minute to think of at least maybe alleviate you mentally as he looks at the Obscura, and then finally argues with himself and just kind of puts everything back in his pockets, and it's like, I don't know enough about machines.
Nice.
Wants to help him out, so he just paints a smiley face on him.
No,
You're on the wrong
there.
side of the spectrum. I could read the net. I can't read how a fucking
Squall,
a piston works.
you get an inspiration point for cool ideas. And
Yeah.
you just spend some time just changing your appearance, coming up with whatever you have on you to sort of change what you would have looked like from afar. Those of you who know the technology around here know that they probably wouldn't be able to read your faces very well, and at the very least it would take a long time, and with everything else that's going on, people wouldn't be looking for you actively, at least with the disguises that you have on. Do you drive or walk to the next location?
We drive.
The Jewel Consolidated? Okay.
We drive nearby.
You're gonna drive through filthy streets, occasionally seeing someone get mugged. You're gonna see screams, people get executed in the streets. There is a certain level of lawlessness down here now, and you can see that whatever yeoman guards were here before are completely gone. As you pass a market, you see some different types of armed guards sort of keeping the peace there. They're wearing black trench coats and black boots. They are pretty big guns. They're hiding, and they're wearing mesh vests underneath the trench coats. There seems to be sort of an overseer there organizing them. They don't look like criminals, they don't look like yeomanry, and you've never seen these people before. They seem to be kind of directing people in the street and so on.
Parent,
Yes.
don't you have a pick recorder?
Oh, actually, would have to look for that.
Anybody have a pick recorder?
But what?
I do
gonna
have a pic
right?
recorder. I do have a pic
No.
recorder.
Right, I'm going to take a picture of those guys.
Oh, you enjoy that. I'm just gonna see what they are
I
thinking
want
about.
you to take a picture of those guys. I'm fucking driving over.
Everybody on the vehicle would kind of notice Squall seems very comfortable in this environment. This lawlessness.
Awesome.
And
As
Yeah,
he's just
motherfucker.
relaxed.
Perrin, you read the minds of the guy who looks to be directing these guards. His thoughts go to Neil Ottoman. Neil Ottoman is a filthy fool, and he wants him to immediately get these people out of here, and he's just tired of waiting. People are haggling and buying food, even though he asked them to clear the streets a long time ago, and he's considering opening fire to scatter people.
Do I get any like other surface thoughts when reading a couple others?
Sort of going back and forth between them, you learn that this is very close to here is an animal market. It's kind of whatever animals the lords and nobles release that disappear and scurry down into the lower levels of the city and start to breed and live their own lives are sold there as food, and their parts as jewelry and so on.
I'll just pass the information along and then ignore the whole thing.
Do you want to make some buddies, or
I mean, if you think we can make them an ally of us, I wouldn't mind letting you guys have a short conversation with them. I can be ready to support and redirect any weapons pointed at you.
Squall. I'm pulling up. We're gonna be a couple of bad guys over here. Put on your poker face.
Just sits there and stares at him with his respirator on. Jack.
So Mac pulls over to the market, and as he sees people haggling, he slowly steps out and waits for Squall to come out as well.
So, what happens now is you're sitting in this vehicle, and there's still this air, fresh air from above the city, covering the vehicle. There's also a slight filtering system that made the air kind of fresh in the vehicle. You can even smell a little bit of leather from the seats. It's quite pleasant. As soon as you open the door, it's like a toxic wasteland. You're just breathing in fumes. It's warm, and you can see these gusts of fumes sort of fly out from below buildings. Immediately as you step out, you see a couple of manufacturing workers kind of look at you and scurry away, afraid of Judgment Day.
I would have put in my filtration plugs if that was the...
It's not toxic, it's just, for flair. To
Calm.
Several of the manufacturing workers kind of walk up to you, holding their hands up. Please, save us.
I will save you for a quick fucking death if you don't move it right fucking now. Get moving.
They're hanging on your shoulders. One of them looks extremely emaciated and is just saying, please, food.
Move away now! As he tries
Give me
to
something.
shield. He tries to command them away.
Yeah, exactly. Do a command test.
Any bonus?
Plus 10.
Let's hope I win it, boy. I'm really rolling that with my inspiration.
Probably good enough. Mac, you have
Alright.
2 new fans. As soon as they start to like cling on to you, several others point to you and goes, he's rich, he's wealthy. And then they immediately scurry around you, and you now have a little flock of people surrounding you.
No, I don't, because I'm whipping out my auto pistol and I'm full autoing them in the face.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you sure?
Subtlety is not our strong suit.
can I just go up and jam both of them?
Yeah.
Can I just go up and jam both of them? As he goes to pull out the auto pistol, just put his hand down and then just jam the commoners away.
As
I
soon
mean,
as
I
you
do-
see
I
Mac,
do
Get the
have
fuck
quick-
out of here, you
I
dirt,
do
you
have
pieces of...
I do have quick draw and high agility. How fast would you be able to do?
as soon
Be
as you see
realistic.
Mac pull out the bolt gun, you sort
no,
of
not
open
the-
the door,
not
you
the
look
bolt
over to
gun.
the side,
Not the
auto
bolt gun.
pistol, and you manage to sort of get over to him, to Mac. And what do you want to do?
I just kind of put an arm on his auto pistol, and then with the other free hand, just stiff arm the shit out of a couple of the little manufacturers.
Yeah,
You know, get off of me! Get off of me, you disgusting neurons!
Nice.
Before I pop the fuck out, you fucking lowly drags. Get out of here.
You can do so these people are starving, and they're just gonna keep going. They're like ghouls. Like even if you kick them to the ground, they're just gonna grab your boots and hang onto your feet. Please, Lord, save us! They
Oh,
keep
actually
begging.
pull out his chainsword.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the shotgun and just come
Oh,
put
no,
it
you
kill
wanna
one
shoot
guy
it.
on the boot.
Perrin,
Get out.
whoever the diplomat will pull out his half-drunk bottle of Amasec and say, whoever keeps the rest away gets this.
They're definitely gonna look at you, and the rest of you try to command them away. Can do a command test or intimidate.
Can I do an intimidate with the shotgun?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing intimidation kind of too, because I'm sitting there just revving my fucking chainsword.
Any modifiers to it?
So this would be the
special.
equivalent of Bill Gates stopping in the Bronx. And,
Oh, I
or
failed.
whatever, probably was some slum.
Okay. Would this be? Are there any modifiers to this, or just straight?
Yeah, you get +10.
I was gonna say, do I get any modifiers? But
You get a +10 from your presence and your wealth.
it'd still be a
Fuck.
13, I think.
I see
Would I-
that our
yeah, it would-
intimidation and commanding does not both. Can I get a reroll, or can I redo command again? Or
You only get one roll.
yeah, well, it did it, but it seemed like you wanted me to do it another time. But
Everyone gets an attempt. Scare these guys away.
How many are
Swallow's
there?
too casual.
Does anyone succeed? So right now it started with 2. As soon as one of them like clawed up and revealed Mac's weapon, they're going to just gather around you. Some of them are going to cling to the weapon, try to grab it. They're hanging by his pants. Mac just has to lean back on the vehicle not to fall over. I would say probably like 25 manufacturing workers.
Oh.
Perrin is just basically gonna be holding his face and looking around. Are there any animals close by?
Yes. There is something that looks a little bit like a tiger. It is tied to a chain next to one of the buildings.
do not release any fucking animals. I beg of you.
Yes,
Release the
beast.
tiger.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't allow me to shoot these fucking drags. Don't you dare to release a fucking tiger.
How strong does that chain look compared to the tiger thing?
The tiger looks kind of starved. Perhaps if the wall is a little rotten, it might be able to tear its way out of it.
I'm just gonna try and cast the idea of those beggars being food into its mind.
Nice.
I gotta ask, how have they
Good
not
idea.
eaten yet?
You get an inspiration point? I don't know. And the beast is going to, of course, fail his willpower. And let's do an attempt to get loose from the chain. No. Oh, okay. So yes, the rest of you now see the equivalent of a tiger tearing its way out of this chain. Probably trained to think that it's stronger than it truly is. It's going to pounce on this crowd. If you've ever seen these videos of a tiger loose in India, this looks like that. They immediately start rolling over. One of the men gets mauled by the tiger, eating up its face. You just see him laying there like a bloody mess. The rest of them run off. And since it considers you an ally, I don't know, what do you want to command it to do?
I command it to enjoy its newfound freedom and have good luck.
Awesome. Good idea. Okay, so the tiger runs down the street and disappears.
Gives it a psychic head pat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. While I simultaneously just pretend to be shocked and be backing away.
Oh no, how could this possibly have happened?
Exactly. Awesome. So the only sight remaining is a manufacturing worker. You're kind of an old man, looks skinny, and you get the feeling that you probably put him out of a few more days of misery before he would have died. It probably wasn't a bad thing.
Indeed.
That we're back in the jungle. Shall we continue on?
Indeed. Who was it that wanted to talk to those guards?
Oh, what?
Was it you, Squall?
I think it was supposed to be me and Mac were gonna go and talk to him.
Okay. We don't
And
have
that
to
was
do
what it was
this-
gonna be. It was
Yeah.
me and Mac were gonna talk to him.
Yeah, we don't have to do this in character, we can just do it as a general test. So you're walking down this narrow back alley, and you're walking into quite a big market area. This is the area that you just drove through. People sort of are wading through crowds of people, some of them getting their feet run over, screaming, and you kind of see them back there in this open field. There are broken neon signs, paper rags blowing down the street, and you can hear a monorail train rumbling above you. Several men in black leather trench coats and body armor walk towards you. And you can do... What do you want to find out from these people? What do you want to ask them?
kind of want to get a know-how of what they operate, and what their gig is.
Do an inquiry
Basically,
test.
their aspect of
Inquiry?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
just him.
If you want to.
Can I roll it on based on intelligence?
Mm.
I'm gonna say I can do inquiry.
Of course.
It's not gonna be.
You're walking with him.
I got a little bit of inquiry. Do I have any modifiers?
No.
Alright.
Didn't get an
Yeah, I got 3
Damn.
successes.
Squall,
That's lucky.
something about you right now instills trust and authority in these sort of poor manufacturing workers.
So I'm
and
speaking in
guards.
Underworld, probably.
Maybe it's
What-
because of how a tiger came to save you last time you got pissed.
Yeah,
what
because
kind
I
of
speak
skills
Underworld,
or-
so
What kind of skills or okay? So you speak Underworld. That's one thing that kind of increases your believability here, and you learn that the guards down here, they don't directly work for Sophia and the Forsaken Scavengers, but it's kind of a merger between cooperating with the Aventinian Yeomanry, being sanctioned to police the market while not getting in the way of the criminals. They are kind of a neutral faction. But they're also heavily involved in criminal activities.
I would say a mixture between me speaking Underworld and I guess it's coming from a death world, my natural pulse in this type of environment. It's for the most part a jungle and an urban environment, and kind of stands out to where I'm too comfortable for say to where it'd make it seem as if I'm not the standard rubble, but I'm definitely far from the fucking almighty E.
Yeah, you would probably
So I
drop
fit
some
more into
names.
it.
You would
I would-
probably know something about the underworld in Aventine, and you would probably like pull on your influence and so on to buy trust with this guy. And yeah, you just stand there talking for a little while. These guys aren't afraid of being arrested for anything criminal. They're also not afraid of being shot by the criminals, so they kind of don't give a fuck. They just kind of talk openly.
Would they also talk openly with Mac now, or do they still seem trustworthy?
I would take the time to vouch for him.
Cool. Do a fellowship test. You can choose which you want to roll.
Give me 1 second. I
He's my
apologize.
simple apprentice. Don't mind him.
It's a make-a-wish thing, don't worry.
No, I mean I would have played it off as I have my areas, he has his areas. We happen to be overlapping each other.
Right.
But fellowship. All right. You said simple fellowship test, no
You can do
modifiers.
Any fellowship check you want.
And his skill test.
Charm,
All right.
intimidate.
Acrobatics is definitely not gonna help here.
Charm.
No. I would go with I'll go with logic because exactly how I'm saying it. It's like,
Is
hey,
logic fellowship?
he has his shit. I have
It's intelligence.
Fellowship test.
Oh no, that's intelligence. Yes. Alright. Yeah. You know what? I'll just go with awareness because I'm drawing attention. No, shit, I can't do that. Fuck. Screw it.
You have
I guess it'd
command,
be
charm, deceive, and inquiry.
It would be deceive.
Cool.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I got any modifiers in or anything with. Oh, I don't. I can use an inspiration.
First off, Mac, how do you introduce yourself? What kind of angle do you take? You can also do a fellowship test.
Yeah, ask
Yes,
him to do a fellowship test. This guy's funny.
What's your fellowship at?
28.
Would have been better off.
None is
So you would have an 18% chance of succeeding?
8%. 8%.
It's a 30.
Yeah, you kind of walk towards him a little bit clumsy, Mac, and you just seem shifty, and they immediately get this
Fit
taste.
in.
Yeah, they don't really think that you fit in. Yeah. Yeah, you can of course.
This guy's
do the
not
test
cool
if you want.
enough.
He's not cool enough.
What do you
wanna
mean
do-
not cool enough?
Do you
He's
want
a
to do
fucking
fellowship
narc.
test?
Get him.
Do you want to do an actual fellowship test or?
I'll do a command to command respect.
Okay.
No.
Awesome. Cool.
Oh!
What?
Yes.
Mac. What does this look like? Explain.
So these gangers are all like, who the fuck is this guy walking around with fancy gear and being all high? But then my fellow listeners, then true horror shines through as Mac's gruesome experience of fighting in the guard leak out and his balls of steel hang out from his pants, the salt quaking in his boots, and suddenly these guys aren't too sure anymore about Mac. He opens his mouth and says, "Yeah, we're overlapping, but right now, I'm just here for a little chit-chat. I'm sure you won't mind me asking some questions now, because where I'm from, where you're from, there are a whole lot of difference. You feel me?"
Awesome. Mac, you get inspiration points, and you can both do inquiry tests.
So, first off, what I want to know, you kind of like the neutral group around here. You work with some people upstairs, some people downstairs. Who else we gotta watch out here while driving here? I mean, I'm pretty heavily armed, and he too, but who else is around here who we gotta take notice of?
So, he's gonna tell you about Sophia and the Forsaken Scavengers. They're more bark than they are bites. They take bribes. It's a good idea to try to bribe them or talk them out of it. They generally hire people who aren't very sharp, and you would do better to do that than to take their threats at face value.
Only the Forsaken
Whoa.
Scavengers?
Good.
You, of course, have the general muggers and criminals, but to someone of your stature and with your equipment, they are definitely no threat.
Well, I'll actually inquire about. So, if we ever wanted to, say, acquire your assistance with a matter, who would we talk to?
Mm-hmm. Nice. So, the guy you're talking to is called the Supervisor. And he kind of explains that he's a little bit of an upper class. He has this high Gothic accent, even when he speaks high Gothic. He's a slim man with faded gold and black leather coats, leather shoes and pants, slick back hair in ponytail, and he has small beady eyes. He's kind of shifting back and forth, ordering these guards. At this point, he is going to bluntly ask you, so I assume you're investigators working for the Yeomanry, here to check up on us?
Bold move here. What do you think?
I was just going to say it doesn't matter to him.
We don't work for the Yeomanry. We're something more special. I mean, I consider myself more special because those Yeomanry guards, they're fucking pussies.
It's
Mac
saying,
is
but
very
you get
special,
enough.
don't worry.
You
There's
get
definitely some
Squall
kind of
saying-
special involved.
Squall sits there and be like,
Hmm.
just know that our hand reaches deep. Sometimes, though, it helps to have another hand.
He kind of nods, puts out his little stick, gonna look over his corner, ask you to kind of let him go. He's gonna go off and do his work. Do you want to ask him anything else?
Is it worth dropping the name?
Say again?
Yeah. Mac's just gonna pipe up one last thing before you go. Matilda Moan. Know that name? Any chance?
Do a Forbidden Lore heresy. You get.
I only have RQ.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll that?
Nope.
Yeah.
You can roll common lore underworld.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, you go ahead. I don't
Yeah.
have that either.
You can roll it. You get a
Okay.
+0.
I'll roll a intelligence
Zero, you
minus.
said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 23. 2 degrees.
Nice. Squall. The guy's gonna tell you that Methylamon was down here occasionally. She was definitely involved with the criminal cartels, although he doesn't know much about her. He thinks someone down here saw something in relation to the murder. So he has basically heard talk that someone saw some commotion directly after the murder took place, and everyone is talking about it.
Dig a little deeper to ask for a direction, so to speak. You know, point a finger and a way to go.
Do a scrutiny -10.
Scrutiny -10. Alright. Hey, I do have scrutiny. What was that? 1 degree? Yeah.
That's 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2
Excellent.
degrees.
So he's gonna tell you that a little bit further down the street, and he's gonna explain where it is. There is a small group of essentially they're kind of like muggers, and they hang out in these back alleys. They used to be manufacturing workers. They wear overalls. One of them spotted someone running away, and he saw the person, and he has told everyone about it.
Shit.
Time to beat up a mugger, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there like I'm sorry for my lapse, but like some sort of credit or something like that I can give him, I guess I say a small tip for the help.
You can give him guilts or throw a script. I don't know.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna assume you just carry around a little bit of the local currency, even though the system doesn't have it, and you throw him a few credits. You're definitely gonna increase your influence with this faction.
All right. Look at Mac and kind of just give that nudge, head back, and once we. Sorry, I stepped on you.
Mac will respond with a head bob.
And once we back away and get out of their area, like, do we want to drag the others or just go on our own?
I mean, pairing and it can be useful. Though a dub the Arbite guy might be much use. They don't. I mean, I get the whole shtick, but he needs to get out of that suit. Not fitting. And I think, I'm not sure, our robo guy is out of commission. Or at least not feeling too good.
I'm gonna say you return to the vehicle, and all of you are now standing outside the vehicle and are free to discuss what to do next.
If you want, you can always
We'll take
pick him up and bring him in a car.
They're a bunch of muggers, so they're probably gonna be a bitch about it and gonna start drawing weapons. So we're gonna drive up. I'm gonna park in backwards. Me and Squall are gonna get out and talk, Parent 2. If anybody asks anything or is gonna draw anything, you open a back door and start blasting that goddamn thing and shoot them sky high.
Do any of you know how to actually interrogate somebody?
I mean,
Oh yes.
I've interrogated a person or two. You just
Never
gotta
mind.
have some patience.
Wall will go ahead and look at everybody. Whoever it is that he would at this point know would be good at interrogation. Be like, come along.
Are you leaving the vehicle?
Alright.
no.
I'm gonna.
We're using it to drive over towards that group.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that cloak on and go out with.
Squall would heavily recommend Victor be ready on the gun. That way he doesn't have to move too much. He doesn't want too many stains in the. He'll actually be like, go ahead and be ready to unload. We don't really want to deal with Mac bitching and moaning once he sees all the hydraulic stains all over his ride if you keep moving around.
One moment.
And you're going to see Victor hobbling over to the auto gun. He's going to pull up the screen, and then he's going to pull up another screen with a confirmation box.
Put hand here.
Victor, you kind of made a makeshift seat next to the auto gun. You lean back and you see some blood running out, some oil running down your chest. You feel cold, but you're most worried about your machine spirit.
My machine spirit's strong. I ain't no bitch.
Yes. Alright, so you're getting ready with the autocannon.
Well, I'm asking Squall to put his hand on the screen that I pulled up.
Oh yeah, no, I will do these. Basically, all the startup sequences needed to stop it short from unfolding out. Oh, to
Right.
where
So it's
basically I
just
want to
ready
get to the point where
open with
yeah,
a single action, and you can immediately start shooting. If you
Yes,
want
but
I'll take
I
care of
need you
the
to put your hand
dexterity
here.
thing.
You're
Yeah.
going to be the one that's shooting, Patrick.
Oh,
I know, but I'm authorizing him on the gun before I forget.
yeah. Okay, yes.
So
Yeah,
basically,
so-
everyone except Mac is going to be authorized.
Everyone
yeah.
except Matt gets to use the gun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my microphone's being a little iffy right now, so I apologize if there's a word or two I'm missing. But no, okay, so yeah, Squall's literally gonna chuckle, kind of seeing what's going on, but agree to it and go with it. So yeah, he'll put his hand on there.
As soon as
You'll
the
see
doors close to the vehicle, the air filtration system starts working. The kind of slightly toxic fumes start filtering out of the vehicle, and you start being able to breathe again. Everyone can see clearer, and you look outside. The windshield from the vehicle kind of splinters the light, and it throws your shadow back at Petrie. Victor sitting in the back. Victor is sort of curled up next to the autocannon, looking kind of intrigued and curious at this gun.
I can't help but think about like autocannon shooting fucking spraying at long distance. If they get too close, he just pops out his flavor.
Yeah.
That
What do you
is
Someone
wanna do,
comes up,
that
guys?
is
he's
an
like,
awesome.
nope. Boom.
So you're sitting in
Patrick,
the
how
vehicle.
many degrees of success did you have with installing? Do you remember?
Several.
Yeah.
No, it's fastened very well. There's no worry.
No, I
about
mean the
it.
digital part of it, like for me to get locked out.
Mm.
I mean,
I mean, for your
you
security
could
challenge,
hack
I
it
can-
if you want. I don't think I put a firewall up or anything. I just made it so you couldn't readily activate it.
I know.
Is it something that's important to you, Mike?
But yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then
It's a gun.
so I'm going to assume you're driving, Mac.
Yes.
Yes. And you've received the directions from this guy, the supervisor. Do you want to keep driving down the streets towards this area?
Yes.
Okay. Mac starts up the engine. All of you hear this roaring sound. It kind of rumbles a little bit. It immediately starts rolling, and you can hear bottles and metal pipes squeaking under the weight of the vehicle. As soon as you clear out of the back alley, the light from the neon signs kind of dances off the hood of the vehicle. You pass a corner, and driving down the street, you run up to a place. You note on your map, this is where he pointed to. You can see the back alley he pointed to. What do you do?
I put the vehicle in reverse and I reverse the back side of the van in, and I'm gonna step out.
Mac opens the door. What do the rest of you do?
Squall, get
Oh.
out and take an immediate look at the area.
Yeah, I'll step out with Mac and start looking around the alley.
Looking around, this is pretty abandoned. There are several manufacturers there. A few of them look to be operational, others are abandoned. You can hear welding and work in one of the buildings. You can see belted vehicles and a servitor standing outside one of the buildings. The
servitor?
Yep, the servitor is unloading something into a vehicle.
I'm going to speak to it in Technolink and ask it for where the hell the people are.
Yep.
And what he's doing.
You walked up to it.
Mhm.
You immediately start trying to communicate with it. You can do a tech use test. Or,
Sure,
or
like-
linguistics. Yeah. You can choose.
I have a 88.
Ooh.
I'm gonna re-roll that because fuck that.
Awesome.
Of course, I'm
Nope.
still failing.
Oh,
The
least it's
servitor
Not as miserably.
just responds,
Me to
"You are
try."
not my master," and continues unloading boxes.
Now I'm gonna use tech use
Whoa,
to make me myself in his mask.
Okay, I'm gonna give you M-20 on that.
Still fail. Still win.
Mac, you walk up to it, and what happens? So you basically manage to hack it.
As soon as it responds by "You are not my master," Mac pulls out his combi tool and ejects one into his socket to be like, "Yeah, hold on, I'm fixing that issue right now, you little fuck." And he scribbles down, he puts some zeros and one, and he says, "Okay, so I repeat myself. Where is the rest, and what are you doing?"
So immediately, the servitor is going to reset, and you see its legs and feet point towards you. It drops its the crate, and immediately goes down into kind of a kneeling position, hands in a 90-degree angle, pointing straight forward, kind of like a ski jumper, just sitting straight forward. And it's going to respond in Technolingua that it doesn't know what you're talking about. It doesn't understand the command.
Fuck.
Good work
Mac-
resetting that.
Can I take a look inside the box?
Yep. So you can walk over, look in one of the crates. Looks like regular metal parts. They're probably making metal parts for an engine of some sort.
Squall wants to take a look and see if there's any rod-shaped parts.
Definitely all kinds of construction equipment and materials here.
Yeah, because Squall's bolter does not shoot normal bolter rounds due to its modifications. Just gonna do a quick look around and then take one or two of the, let's say where they're like pinion in kingpins and such.
I'm gonna say there's enough basic equipment here for to create any kind of scarce level item.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, he only wants to take some to where he'd be able to manufacture some of his rounds. I won't lie, I forgot about that. That he has to have his rounds made.
You can absolutely do that. You can grab into the
About
box.
magazines worth.
Yeah, you just grab a bunch of stuff. And anyone else want to do anything here?
Can I take a look at the car that he's loading stuff into? If it's like a delivery truck or just some random ass.
It is a belt vehicle, dark. It is pretty big. The storage room is a place for you. I think maybe like half a ton of equipment.
If I'm not making an extended Medicaid check to heal my wounds, how often can I make regular Medicaid checks?
I think there's a ruling for that in the book. We can look it up if anyone wants while we're playing. And
It's in the handbook. I'll take a look at it.
yes, excellent.
24 hours. Okay.
24 hours, yes. So the servitor just keeps standing there. You see a manufacturing worker come out of the building. He kind of looks surprised for a second, walks over to you, kind of trying to stop you from interfering with the servitor.
Do you see how the fuck I'm dressed? Do you see what I got on my back?
The guy is just gonna try to rip the cords connected to the servitor out.
He's gonna allow.
The manufacturing worker that comes out goes, so finally somebody in the alley. We just came by to ask a couple of questions. We'd heard a story.
Do a fellowship test.
Inquiry or just anything?
Anything. Very nice. So this manufacturing worker is kind of pitiful. He's going to assume that you're just above him in terms of class, and from that he's going to answer whatever questions you have. What do you ask him?
We'd heard a story from somebody that supposedly works here, of some high profile chick that got schwacked a night ago.
He doesn't know anything about that, and you're pretty confident he's telling the truth.
You know anybody who does know something about that?
Just gonna shake his head, say he's a poor manufacturing worker.
Yeah, I know that.
You know anybody who talks a lot or likes to tell a lot of tales?
Do an intimidate check. Or command. He's gonna shake his head, sweat running down his forehead.
Like nervous sweat?
Yep.
Allow me.
I'm assuming Squall would notice this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Squall is actually gonna grab him, boom, by the throat and put him up against the wall. Do the old workers hang out?
Do an intimidate check.
And
I'll help him out with this a little bit. Now, come on, I'm just trying to have a nice talk with you. I don't want my big guy to get involved because he gets a little overzealous sometimes.
shit, I don't know if I can use them.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I get anything?
So at
Yeah,
this point,
I failed that.
At this point, you've captured the guy, and your options extend to a interrogation test.
I could interrogate.
Go for it.
Yes. Squall will go ahead and, to quote unquote assist, he'll real fast slip his manacles on the guy.
Nice. You get a +10 to the interrogation.
Now, like I said before, you got any friend who likes to talk a lot, tells a lot of tales, likes to hang out in this alley? You tell us something like that, maybe you get a little bit of a tip coming your way. You don't, maybe you got a little bit of a medical bill coming your way.
Nice. By the way, Mac and Squall, you gain 1 influence. You can add an influence to your characteristic.
Nice.
Nice.
Spicy.
Raish, as soon as you say that, the manufacturing worker is going to collapse to the ground. He's crying, and you kind of feel sorry for him for a moment. And he's going to tell you that right around the corner, there are 2 men. They usually just go away with bribes, and they keep talking about having seen someone flying just the night of the murder.
2 guys right around that corner over there.
He's gonna nod, weeping and sulking.
Alright, see? That's all we wanted to hear. And he's gonna drop a couple of credits on the guy.
As soon
Well,
as
Now
you,
get out of here before somebody gets around.
as soon as you do that, he's gonna
He will
crawl
remove the
over.
manacles.
He's gonna crawl over to the servitor, and he's basically gonna crawl up, and you get the impression that this is his baby, his life savings. He's basically going to inspect it for damages and try to sort of see what you did with it, Mike.
Mac wasn't too much of an ass.
Go midship back and let's move.
I believe this is when Perrin steps out of the car and just walks over close to this poor man and erases his memory of who was talking to.
Nice. Good job, good job, good job. Excellent. Well, not really excellent, but...
Well, we'll see. Might be excellent now. It's excellent now and without
okay,
doubles.
now it's excellent. Now it's excellent. And you pass the corner. Who's leading? Who's going first?
I guess Mac.
Probably a thick boy.
Thick boy.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's me.
either me or Mac.
Yeah.
Even though I'm stealthy as fuck, I'm pretty stocky.
As soon as you pass the corner, you see two guys kind of leaning up against a metal railing leading to a catwalk above the building. The building is black, worn down, windows barred up. There's a little bit of light shimmering down from the lumen globe, kind of flickering intermittently, lighting up these two guys.
Paul actually wants to jump up onto the catwalk.
Okay. So you walk up to a dumpster next to the building and kind of walk up on the catwalk, immediately catching the attention of these two men who draw weapons and walk out in an intimidating manner.
I yank out my bolt gun and say, mine's bigger, don't even fucking try.
And at this point, any of you can do an intimidate check.
Can I do
I'll
a
whip
command?
out the shotgun. I'll whip out the shotgun round in the corner with
Command
3 to
or
1, buddy.
intimidate, you can choose.
You all want me to try the intimidate?
I failed my command.
Yeah, your command sucked. I'll go ahead and try intimidate you want to go first?
I'll try it first. 3 to 1,
Yeah, I'll let
mates.
you go
See what
first.
bolt guns do to people.
I want to assist on his if I can. I'll just pull out my my bolt gun and my chain sword. You just gotta be skulking on there, looking all Batman like.
This is kind of away from the market and away from the middle of the city. It's an abandoned area. There's no one else around. Like I said, manufacturing workers in the buildings, but the noises are deafening.
Oof.
Rish, as soon as you pass the corner, your training as an Arbeit kicks in. You kind of walk. So this is like in slow motion, newspapers flashing by you. Your Arbeit uniform shimmering from the light.
Oh, I still got the cloak on there.
Cool.
It just whips out a big ass Vox
your
light
metal armor.
while
kinda
everyone else
showing
is
through. You pull out your gun,
Oh.
and these two guys immediately just kind of halfway drop their weapons, standing there with mouths open. They get ready to run.
I want to try to get onto the other side of them if I can.
Awesome. What's your movement speed?
My movement speed is, let's see, it'd be a run, 30, and if I combine it with kind of where I'm at, it'd be a mix of that and jumping, so my acrobatics, I'd get a plus 20.
Sick. Okay. They're gonna immediately turn around and start running. As they do, Squall, you are above them, and you're running next to this elevated catwalk, next to the building, but it's only like 10 meters left of it before you run out of room to run. You see them kind of behind you, but they're running in the same direction as you. What do you do?
I'm actually gonna jump down ahead of them, and I will also partly through the air, like when I jump, I want to do kind of a twist to where I turn around and bring my bolter to bear forward, aiming at them while having my chainsword at a horizontal angle to where it's obvious that it takes nothing but a sweep for me to sweep it forward at them.
Do an acrobatic test.
Right. I get plus 20 for catfall.
Oh, nice.
You went for that entire tree.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is 4 successes. I
Squall.
am Captain.
Explain what this
I
looks
am
like to the
Batman.
rest of the party. Like, explain how awesome this is. This probably looks bad.
So- Oh, Squall, you guys have noticed, I mean, in that when he's actually in full bolt, out of habit, he does the, for lack of better terms, the Naruto run. He kind of slinks low, spreads his frame out to where he becomes less of a target, more obscured. So he's just basically booking along, looking like a little ninja along the catwalk. And once he gets to the end, he just kind of kips off with 1 foot and twists it. And mid-air, there sights in on a guy. As he comes to a, for lack of better terms, a almost perfect landing, being braced in, and with his lead foot drawn behind him. To anybody who's even seen somebody swing a sword, much less a chain sword, would know if you get hit by it, it's going to be a bad day. As you can see his muscles tensing up, just exuding this aura of almost like a fucking in a tiger jumping out of the bush.
As soon as he lands,
And
Squall,
just
this guy is going to do a baseball slide across the ground, tearing up his pants. He drops his auto pistol clumsily. It falls over a couple of times and hits a dumpster. As soon as he does that, his friend is going to look over at him. He's going to go, "I think it's him! Oh god, we didn't say anything, we didn't see anything. Please, don't kill us."
While he's running with them, can I try and vox the car to try and go to the other edge of the...
So they're just leaning in the street now. The rest of them run up and kind of surround them easily. They're laying in the street, hands up, surrendered.
Okay.
great.
Let's get him in the car.
Indeed.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for a little ride.
Yeah, as soon as you try to pick him up, he's gonna go, "This isn't necessary. We didn't tell anyone."
Monocle or
Oh.
manacle, both of them together.
Cool.
You don't know half of the story. This is very much necessary. Don't worry about it.
We have credits. We can pay
Yeah, you know what? I
Oh,
care
we-
about credit.
They're wearing,
I wouldn't try and bribe this guy. He's kind of a dick.
they're wearing Manufactorum overalls. Both of them have kind of this stubby beard, black hair, quite long. They look like they're just living out here now. Kind of big, bulky, intimidating guys, but definitely outmatched by all of you. You open up
Wall
the back,
will actually do
and you kind of
check
just
on the
throw
area.
them in the back, manacled up, and lean them up against the side of the inside of the vehicle.
How did they react to the autocannon in the back?
As soon as they see it, they're gonna kind of gasp. One of them is gonna try to crawl out of the vehicle as soon as that happens. Kind
He's
of
getting a
Kicked
boot
it,
in the
Yeah,
face.
he's getting shoved back in.
I'm getting a light smack from Perrin's staff in the process.
Wow, everybody
like,
just say this
stop
asshole.
that!
Yeah, nice. Little Gandalf. Awesome.
Squall does want to do one more look into the alley and stuff to make sure if there's anybody else around,
Looking around,
or
this
anything that
is-
stands out.
This is the height of working hours, and anyone who isn't a complete hobo and is probably drugged out and just walking around like a zombie is in one of the buildings.
Wall then sent across. Shift locations. Move somewhere else.
Agreed.
Might as well just drive around while we talk. We can let him off somewhere else.
I
Seeing as this is it's a back and forth. Anybody else want to take driving? If not, Squall can do it because he would know Mac would probably be better in this situation between his intimidation and command and his overall presence.
Yeah, we'll do a good cop, bad cop with these guys.
So Squall will take over driving.
So who's the good cop?
Alright, it's more of like morally dubious cop and complete psychopath cop.
complete sadist.
Yeah.
I
I thought so.
rectify.
Thought so.
Nice.
Lethal weapon.
Welcome to Warhammer, baby.
Very much.
Yeah, no, sorry. Lethal weapon 3.
What do you want to do this? You have 2
All right.
hostages.
So with the guys just kind of sitting on one side of the car, myself and Max sitting on the other, I'm just going to kind of lean back.
Take a seat close to them, show them a little spark from his fingers, and say, "Oh, and we do know if you're lying."
I'm going to offer a low stick to either of these dudes.
One of them is gonna pipe out in low Gothic. Look, I saw you on that night, but I haven't told anyone. I promise, I swear.
I sent the back of my palm against his cheek.
He's gonna start crying.
Told you he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Oh, you see, it's not me, it's a friend of mine, and we're trying to get into contact, so we would appreciate all details you have.
Yeah, I like the story. I heard something about people flying and shit like that.
Rage, inspiration points, and parent. You see the guy kind of break down. He's going, "What do you mean? It was you, wasn't it? You're the one."
No, not quite. You see, I don't know how to fly. I would love to learn, but I was hoping to find this friend of mine that can help me learn.
He kind of looks confused around the vehicle. Anyway, who are you? You're not gonna kill us, right?
Not if you tell us the story.
Do an interrogation test. You get a plus 20. Sitting there for about 10 minutes, you it's a kind of your experience as an investigator kicks in. You lean down. Occasionally, Mac is gonna throw some insults, some threats about shooting them. Probably walk up with his bolt or just pointing it at his forehead. Reishi gonna pretend to save him. Use basic interrogation techniques to very high effect. The man breaks down and sulking like a child. He's gonna tell you that the night of the murder, he saw a man run down the stairs next to the building. As soon as he passed the corner, he saw a bright flash. The man changed form. Immediately, his face became younger. He looked like a handsome young man, probably in his 30s. He looked kind of supernatural. The man walked over to the back alley and immediately took off vertically, flying into the air, and jumped off the side of the building and disappeared up to the clouds.
That's a very interesting story.
Thing.
I'm just writing this down on a notepad
Datapad?
as he's looking down. Yeah. Actually, no, a straight up notepad. Datapads can be hacked.
True.
Yeah,
Notepads can be
just,
stolen.
Yes, but that's why you have gear accountability.
Per will just be basically reading them a bit at a time, just confirming.
So, does this sound that familiar to anybody, or are we gonna keep talking with these two?
Oh,
This man, what did he look like before he changed?
He's gonna go. He was a short man, grey hair at the sides, balding. He had a limp. The limp immediately stopped as he reached the bottom of the stairs, and he started running. Twice the speed. He looked around him and took off, flying.
Yep, that's our friend.
Which friend are you talking about? The
The one that Parent wants to learn from.
indeed.
Ah.
where did he
So-
pass into clouds?
He's gonna just shake his head slowly, going pale. The sweat starts to dry up on his skin. Straight up. Straight
Where
up to
did
the-
he go from when he went straight up? What quarter?
He kind of, if you're standing in the same back alley, he's gonna point. If not, he's gonna describe it. That it was directly across the street in the back alley. And he kind of peeked over, saw the guy look over his shoulder, and then he took off.
Indeed. You said his features were too good when he turned young. Could you elaborate on that? Were there any markings?
He kind of looks down, his eyebrows raised. He's got pale grey eyes, kind of cloudy. He's gonna look up at you. Kind of ivory, like a statue. Smooth skin, slick back black hair. He's tall. His suit, it was shiny.
Squall would be able to hear all this, right? I mean, I know I'm driving,
Everyone's
but
hearing it.
Squall will send a message to our telepathic friend, and like, is there any way you could check and see if he hasn't been altered?
Good point, Perrin will say just out in the air, and we'll try to do some sort of deeper reading.
What do you mean?
We'll see how many tries that. Basically, just dive a bit deeper in his memories to try and gain more insight in if his thoughts are as they were, or.
Gotcha. Could be that. You can also do a scrutiny if you want. Anyone can do that.
Does this description remind me of anything?
Yeah, got 1 degree
Do
without.
do an intelligence test, Victor.
I was gonna say, would it trigger my total recall, or do I need to do an intelligence
I'm gonna
check?
give you a minus 30 to that test.
What am I doing?
You can do an intelligence test. You can choose logic if you want.
I also did a scrutiny just to see if this guy's recalling things correctly, or if he has to take a lot of time to try and figure out what he's.
Rish, your experience as an investigator kicks in. Looking at his eyes, you kind of look back and forth. You are absolutely sure that he is telling the truth. This man is begging for his life, and he's pretty convinced, Perrin, that you're gonna kill him. So he's just trying to do whatever he can to appease you at this point. He's completely broken.
Indeed. Does his memories, as I read them, do I get any extra information on this figure? Like red glowing eyes,
Very nice.
distinct markings
Yep.
of demon host or such.
So it's almost like you are seeing the experience in your inner mind. Closing your eyes, you can see him sort of run down the stairs, stop, look over his corner, immediately shift to Perrin's, turn the corner, look over his shoulder, and as he's explaining the face, Victor, you piece together a model in your inner mind, and it reminds you of the Inquisitor who you met on the crime scene.
The description of the 30-year-old guy.
Yes.
Oof.
That's worrisome.
The real question is, does he keep it to himself, or does he share it?
Do we?
Well,
that
I'm
for a
still in
little
the
bit.
back of the car, so
Yeah, but it
How
doesn't
long
mean
have we been riding around with these guys?
About half an hour.
Oh, we haven't taken too long with these. I can remove our nice little session and cast them loose if you don't want to spare them. They've been useful after all.
Try it and we'll see what happens.
As soon as you sort of step over to him, he's gonna go, "No, we're not gonna tell anyone. Don't." And then probably is when you do the thing, apparently.
Yeah, and as he's moving away, I get distracted, and then I just slap him and try again.
Yeah, you can just roll until you succeed. And as long as you don't roll psychic phenomena, you're fine.
Yeah, no phenomena, I get 2 in.
Awesome.
Say
Kicking
that.
them off the back of the vehicle, you race the last half
Oh
hour.
shit, that's above.
And,
Yeah, there we go.
Be sure to take my manacles.
awesome. Parent kind of stands behind the vehicle, talking to them for a little while. After a while, you see them sort of snap out of whatever. One of them stumbles, still exhausted from the interrogation. They kind of just walk off, confused, rubbing their eyes.
Yeah, one of them has a dose of Obscura in his hand, and the other has a bottle of Amasec.
Nice. Good job. I'm gonna give you all inspiration points.
Based on what I think, I just like by the description, what I just understood. Can I make another test to think if is he working in a capacity in favor for what we're doing, or does this seem shady?
The Inquisitor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you can't gain any insight through any kind of test that your character wouldn't already just figure out. So there's no more information to draw from, really.
But is he
I'm not
gonna tell us?
I'm wondering if what he's doing is in line with what Inquisitors would normally do.
Okay.
Like, because flying around in the air, making yourself known, kind of seems a little odd.
And then murdering another Inquisitor's contact.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. You can do a Forbidden Lore Inquisition test. I'm gonna give you a +0 to it.
Dun-dun.
Okay, so I got +10.
This is your
to mine,
knowledge
and-
of traitors in the Inquisition. Which of
Cuts to
course-
Law and Order opening.
Which is of course something you probably wouldn't be taught, but something you.
Whoa, wait,
have
why
to-
is that 130?
Something you would have
Oh,
to
because
try
the
into
+70.
on your own. So this is something you would do on your own, Victor, before joining the Inquisition.
There we go.
Mm.
5 degrees of success.
So this is definitely not something the Inquisition would do. Certainly not to other members of the Inquisition.
So he's working in a capacity more for himself rather than the Inquisition.
You don't know that. There are vast plots in the minds of an Inquisitor. His logic could be something that you don't grasp yet. He could have knowledge that you don't have access to. But it certainly is out of character and lines up with like less regular things. That you
More radical side.
Not necessarily, but definitely not operating with an open hand.
Not doing what would be normal, but not necessarily instantly marked as heresy.
Right. You can't
If
be
it's
sure
even
of it.
him.
You can't be sure of it if it's him.
It's more questions than answers.
Yes.
It's another warning.
Perhaps we should bring this up to Jericho then.
With his odd lapses of memory and knowing that our suspected person is a powerful enough psyker and telepath to do that murder without leaving any traces on the body.
I mean, I'd send it straight up to the boss man himself, but that's just me. Hey,
do believe we should send it straight up to the boss. Do we have a channel for that though? Jericho was our channel before.
That's why I wanted to bring it up to Jericho.
I'll get it on the Voxcaster standby as he reaches for the box.
Who do you want to call?
I'm gonna start ringing Jericho with the Voxcaster.
Yep. You're gonna hear a little noise first. You're gonna go back and forth with the code names and so on. What do you want to ask him?
We need the comm code for the for Papa Bear 16. Priority message. I'll copy.
Yeah. He's gonna respond. I think I know what you mean. Alright. As soon as that happens, the connection breaks and you hear a little buzzing sound. It's just pretty quiet. And you hear a voice saying, "Speak."
This is, I presume...
Speak.
Right. Perrin, how about you speak? As he hands the caster straight into his face.
Not it.
Perrin here. So as I get this voice and get this whole exchange in front of me, does it seem like the correct channel, or does it seem like Jericho's held under duress? That's the big question.
You can do a Mac. You can do a tech use test. -20.
A 9.
Mac,
Oof.
you trace the signal. It is going up to a Remilius class station orbiting Askellon. The station corresponds with the location of the Inquisition.
We suspect faction within our organization to be rogue locally here, with the telepath of theirs potentially having compromised Jericho's integrity. Be warned.
The connection ends. Everyone can roll 1d4 influence.
4.
And you can add it to your influence.
Hey, there you go.
3. Nice.
Parent, you regain a fate point.
At this point,
Thanks.
Victor is going to understand that something seems to be afoot, and you can't necessarily trust people over the Vox and whatnot. So he will disclose the information that he came to regarding the fact that the perpetrator who was going around flying from building to building could possibly be one of the Inquisitors, if not the specific one they had already met.
Hmm. You said that you saw a massive psychic presence with him, didn't you?
Yes.
The one that we met.
I would not go up against him if I can avoid it.
Yes. So that presence would probably correlate to him being the very powerful telepath.
Indeed. And a decent biomancer as well. He used both lightning and face changing, and that odd speed that our interrogation revealed as well. He seems to have mastery of quite a few powers. Not to mention the flying, it's not a standard part of the repertoire. It's more often seen with
Shit.
more special circumstances, which is why I asked for extra markings.
Right. So,
What I miss?
This is a very heavy psyker, Baron?
I would assume so.
Right. I'm driving over to the black market again. You guys stay close. I'm gonna try and see if I can get something real quick.
What I missed? My internet cut out after
We can take it after.
Victor was sharing.
You basically, yeah, we can't do all the summary, but you find out the guys at sea.
Big bad psychers, big bad.
Some psychic.
Yeah. If that's
Get
the
most
case,
of it.
then perhaps we should start to try and find his contacts or his acolyte.
It's not a bad idea. Did any of you that asked around during the investigation there at Mathilda's place remember anyone or connect with anyone of his workers?
The yeomanry is a pretty good part with him, but that's because he's an inquisitor after all.
Oh, the external guards were.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the actual investigators inside. A few of you guys did, after all, ask around. If you remember who they are.
Not all of them were Inquisition.
No, but some of
He
them were.
made it-
We don't know who. I reckon that's a good place to start if you remember them.
I'd reckon we wait until further contact has been established. I don't want to operate dark rogue here and make sure that our boss wants us to.
I never said kill or capture the acolytes, more of just find out more about them.
This is happening
Indeed.
as you're slowly rolling through the streets, looking out the tinted windows at workers and beggars sort of limping through the streets, trash, broken windows.
I thought we aimed towards the jeweler for now. Well, we at least have a destination.
Right.
We're going to the jewel or the black market first, I believe.
Yeah, I need a quick stop at the black market. Just something, because a buddy of mine and the guard, he had this he always got up with some crazy shit. Like at one time he stole like an orc's fucking shooter. That was funny. Anyway, he told me about this grenade that might be useful against psychics. I don't buy it, but in times like these, I don't want to sleep around knowing that this big bad motherfucker might creep up on us and do us one dirt.
You
No
mean
offense,
psych out
sir.
grenades.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
not a bad plan.
niche equipment.
Very
We might be
niche.
able to find.
I just want to make sure and check, but again, no promises.
Nothing better to do. Fuck it. Let's roll.
Awesome. So-
We can check if we can find something like psych out, then we might be more prepared. Was up at the jewel, and then we'll investigate that lead after we pick
Okay.
groceries.
So you drive over to the black market.
Yeah.
And you can do requisition tests. Let's try to do it quickly. So just go ahead and roll.
Real quick, I
don't
want
know
to
that.
make some kind of check to figure out if I can go through any stories that I have heard of psychers and how people use different ways of dispatching them or disabling them or preventing them from utilizing their powers.
Awesome. Do a forbidden lore psychers.
Guess Squall would have to sit there and start crafting his just requisitions. I've never done one either.
Oh, nice.
Well, I don't have psych restraint, so it would be minus 20, so it would be 2 degrees of success.
Impressive. So, you learned that psychic grenades definitely have a very strong effect on them. Yes.
Is there anything technological that I can create that could circumvent their abilities as psychers?
Bullet to the head.
Well, can I create a Magneto helm or something?
I mean, if you technically want to, if you have something that operates on a high enough frequency that messes with the brain's reception and transmission of signals, it might do something.
Or can I
would hurt
figure out
you
a way
too,
to
but-
disrupt their connection to the warp.
So, you remember back to a story where there was to an ancient race. This is something you learned about when you read up on the Xeno, and you were the one with the most education on Xeno here. You read about a race that uses a powerful warp emitter that kind of negates any kind of warp fields, any kind of warp presence, and just negates it. However, it took the energy of basically an entire planet, and it's not something anyone could walk around with.
All right, guys, let's end this campaign right now.
So, something you could make that would stop psychic signals? Unfortunately, no.
Not viable, at least.
The only viable option is Psycho Grenade. I failed my test by so many goddamn degrees, it's not even fun. If you got requisitions, I highly request and suggest you roll for them. It's a -4.
I don't even, mechanically don't know how to do that. I haven't done that yet.
And do you know your influence stat?
No, my what?
Your influence stat?
Let's take a 6-7 minute break while we do requisition tests.
Agreed.
Yeah, I physically can't make that test because it'd be rolling against a negative
Yeah.
What test are we talking about making?
for a psych out.
My influence is at a 49.
Where is the psychic grenade? I can't find
I've
it.
got
It
a
is
42
with-
influence.
It's enemies within. It's the
It's enemies
expansion.
within. You're rolling
Within,
at a
okay.
-40 to influence.
Yeah. Just make tests with a -40 if you can.
I think they're like near
so I just hit
unique
influence?
or something like that.
Yeah, and then input -40.
Well, keep in mind, we can do commerce checks too. And
Yeah, but it
decrease
decreases the subtlety. So
Yeah, well...
And subtlety's already taken a kind of a hit.
Well, we
Yeah,
got
influence.
back everything we lost last session, so we're still riding the same.
Yeah, so I don't think that's gonna help.
Yeah, Per will
How does
do
it-
have a try to find the specialty tools.
Patrick,
What's up?
are you also gonna try?
I can attempt to make this. This is for the psych out grenade.
Yeah, it's at the -4.
So how's inspiration work in this game again?
Not for this.
It's asking, how does it work?
No, I didn't get it.
It's basically
Like
You can
free
reroll
point,
tests.
but it doesn't work for influence.
Okay.
Okay, well, for me, I can't do another resistance test because I don't have any. So rip.
Yeah, I don't have anything I need
So
myself
if that's
really.
the
So I'm
case, then if
just
we
gonna-
actually want to go against this Inquisitor, we're gonna need a.
If you wanna,
Well,
if you
things
wanna have,
will- Good.
But that's super long term.
like, if you wanna have a decent chance against this Psyker, you wanna have the Psych Upper Grenade because it fucks for a very long time.
It does, but if you have enough bodies to throw at it, you might get lucky.
Exactly.
There's another thing that does help against psychers, if you can do. We are limited in range for the most part.
I mean,
I mean, if you do have a psych out grenade, I have a grenade launcher.
I meant more that if you just make sure you shoot early enough without being prepared.
I think last time we checked, we established that he has a power field.
So shoot many
Yes.
times.
Yeah.
Or you just get enough sheer evidence on this dude that you can bring down pretty much any organization.
I do believe that that is our best course of action.
Yes, that is our primary course of action.
But now we've seen what we can do to prepare if it comes to battle. Let's see what we can do to erase our trails here and investigate some more.
Say, if it feels like we have to go toe to toe with them, let's
That's
try
gonna
to
be a
garner
no.
some extra bodies.
Like a lot of extra bodies.
Yeah, I'll have to get with DM when he gets back to see what it takes to try to make my ammo. I'm currently sitting at 10 rounds of my bolter. I mean, I've got auto pistol, but
Anyway, besides, I won't need to go in like a couple of 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I think it's a pretty good spot to round
Yeah,
off, to be
it's,
fair.
Yeah, exactly.
shit fucking up or
And good luck, you people. During the next 2 sessions or so, I'll be gone.
Yeah, I won't be around here for next session either. The one after that I will though, but
If you want to use my character for Adamantium Faith for you all, if you go into needing willpower, basically.
Bruh, you're part of the clergy, right?
I'm not part of the clergy. I'm fucking astropath.
I'm sorry, I'm still learning these classes and stuff like that, so
Yeah,
what
no,
the fuck is that?
it's a psyker. It's a specialized
Okay.
kind of psyker that is a little bit extra good at
an astropath is
telepathy.
basically a Navi boy. He plots the course, and then he just like, yeah, go over there. Yes, yes,
Yes. Okay. Yeah. The void navigators.
yes.
We'll say March 1st and March 8th. No, sorry. Wait. Hold on. No. February 29th, which is a Saturday, and March 7th, which is a Saturday. There's a good chance I will not be playing. Well, I can tell you now, the 29th of February, I will not be playing because I will be on a plane going to California.
But you'll be here, right? You're just not going to be playing.
You guys will be able to use my character.
But you
guys will
said
be able
that
to
you
use my
can't play,
character.
but you're going to be here.
I will be on a plane. I take off at 9 o'clock in the morning in Eastern Central Time, or Central Time, not Eastern, Central Time.
Yeah, what does that mean to us?
Will not be interacting with y'all on February 29th.
Okay.
I will be flying.
The whole
Unless
fucking
they
Being
have
a
the
hard
white.
ass.
good fun.
Yeah. And then the following Saturday, I should be able to join in. What?
I said I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's right. You pick that shit up. You squat that shit good.
I'm not touching your shit. Your shit stank.
That's
Oh,
nasty.
fucking stinks.
That's why your nickname in college was Stanky Panky.
No. No, it was definitely Stinky Pinky, but for a different reason. I never did college. All about the shocker, baby. 2 for the pink, 1 for the stink.
To be honest, I don't think we should attempt doing anything with this psyker yet. My
No.
personal opinion.
No, we just
That-
need to
that's-
see if we can't find some kind of trail.
We need a lot of help. We need to set up a lot of groundwork. We need him in an area he's not familiar with.
Yeah, we need a
him not around people he knows.
We need a shitload of evidence on him to convince some sort of organization, whether it's the fucking yeoman, whether it's the fucking government, whether it's our actual inquisitor, to help.
I think I might
Yeoman.
know
We
where
need
we
to
can get a
isolate
fake out
him.
grenade.
Then we need to cut off his own contacts and make sure that he doesn't get any support. And do this all subtly.
We have to talk to the scavengers.
Yeah, I believe the scavengers can indeed be a good route to go.
From what Morton says, she's very easy to deal with as long as you're, you You can flash around some
Yeah.
money.
And
or
we did
offer or
just get some
something
we did just get some influence with.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of contacting allies and such, Perrin might be able to contact the Inquisitor with telepathy up to the orbit now that he just got the special power of astral telepathy. So I got a full K of kilometers in range per psi rating I use.
So that means if we find something that outright just shows that this Inquisitor is working against Al, we can just essentially beam that shit right up to him.
What if they're on the other side of the planet?
Let's just try and use Voxcasters if possible. But Perrin might be able to help. If we are without that option. Hell yeah.
How's it going? Is everyone
We
back?
came to the conclusion that we asked for Exterminatus. No.
Alright, that's a legitimate.
I'm joking.
While you were gone, I requested the help of the Tyranids.
Nice.
He contacted the hive mind.
Yeah.
Oh
We're-
yeah,
we're on
and,
good terms.
I made all the guards start shooting each other on the plaza.
Nice.
Tao also opening a mantra sutra shop
Yeah,
here.
we just kind of blasted the Naruto theme into space, so the Tao show.
Gotcha.
Jeez.
Don't speak of the goddamn cow. How
Anyway.
dare they kill someone?
I gotta go in like a couple of minutes, so
No worries.
I think it's
We
best.
can continue anyway. So, okay. You're going through the jewel consolidated. Getting whatever you want from the black
I
market.
did have a question real fast.
Yeah.
How do we go about with my shells? Do I gotta get one of like the Adaptus Mechanicus here to make them for me, or how's that work?
As soon as you requisition a weapon, you get ammo for it. Otherwise, you need to requisition the ammo.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True,
and-
where it is more common than the weapon.
Okay.
Yep. Alright. So I assume you're driving to the black market and then going where? Where's your next location?
Headed to the jewelers to try to get more info.
Indeed, I could do with some rejuvenating treatment on my face.
And I'd say we go to the jewelers, try to gather some more info, and then once we get a decent amount of info, go from there. See if we get anything that pushes us forward more, or if not, then we start trying to contact some of our own contacts, so to speak, and go from there. Maybe spark up another lead, and or try to garner forces if we need to.
Build up some friendships.
Reminder,
Exactly.
you
I mean,
can use the Inquisition reinforcement characters. By paying influence, you can requisition characters. You can also pull on the influence of your Inquisitor and use his influence. It hurts your subtlety, but you can use it.
Well, let's avoid that for now. But yeah,
So,
very much
let's go
willing
to-
to later.
yeah, let's go to the jewelers, see what we can come up with, so to speak, and go from there. And just either continue following whatever breadcrumbs we find, or be prepared to start increasing our allies.
Indeed.
Official approach.
If you,
Do
if you
have
don't
a
mind,
little-
I figured that I could walk ahead of you guys and go into the jewelers as a customer, and you could come in and ask some questions. Just say 10 minutes after.
Reminder, everyone
enough.
would know this, and especially Victor. Jewel Consolidated is actually a pleasure hub. So it is used for rejuvenate treatments and physical pleasure for nobles.
Sounds like Slanesh shit, but alright.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Lord Squall's never been there.
Mike's only gonna answer how
Neither
much the
have
cheapest
I.
one is.
So you drive this huge black belt vehicle. It looks a little bit dirty and run down from driving in the lower areas of the city. Driving up these bridges, you reach the city streets. It's getting a little bit later. The sun is setting, and you pass up next to the black market. Mac is standing there gesturing intensely as he's kind of pointing out different stuff he wants, getting to know this trader even more. The building that you know Jewel Consolidated is in is a beautiful old Gothic spire. It stretches up above the clouds. You see a wide bridge connected to the hallways, leading to a huge plastcrete door. You notice a small clock tower right next to the entrance, and you hear the faint churning of cogs and the machine inside. As you're walking up to the entrance of the building, looking over the edge, there's a large gap where you can see directly down to the market below. The buildings around you are adorned with several small statues of animals that you've seen around the city. You can see light coming from some of the windows, and the door is unlocked. What do you do?
With the concept of one person goes in, we wait 10 minutes, and then we go in.
Mm-hmm.
With that,
Parent's just basically just gonna straighten his nice robes and take his staff and stroll in, quite happy and hyped.
Awesome. As soon as you open the door, you see a sign in High Gothic reading Jewel Consolidated. It points you to the 3rd floor. There's an elevator. Further in the hallway, you see some people. What do you do?
Well, Parent's just gonna look around quickly, then just stroll over to the elevator and get in.
You pass a man with a rare fur coat and expensive-looking cybernetics. He gives you a sideways glance as you pass him. And he's just kind of staring at you. The walls are dark plastcrete, and the halls are a fine, kind of dark red carpet. You notice some paintings and metal sconces on the walls. It reeks of dog piss.
The place reeks of dog piss.
Yes.
That's interesting. I'll just get in and up and hope that it's better up there.
Perrin, do you want to step in the elevator alone?
Perrin will indeed step into the elevator alone.
Okay. What are you dressed like right now?
Fine robe, good solid cloak, and just my nice staff and a few pouches and a messenger bag.
You interact with a very simple machine spirit. Immediately, the elevator starts shaking and you start hovering. As you reach the 3rd floor, the door opens and you see a beautiful, well-lit room. There are tan tiles on the floor, kind of greenish walls, beautiful ornaments, a vase, various candles, and a desk to the left. You see a lady standing by the counter.
Good day. Pleased to meet you. As he says that, he strolls forward to the desk and leans on both the staff and the counter. I heard you had these exquisite rejuvenate treatments. I would be very much interested.
Take your hands off the table.
Sorry.
She's basically gonna straighten up. She's wearing a very nice Baroque dress, a lot of makeup, and a very stern face. As you lean your hands on it, she's gonna try to slap your hands before you pull them away. She has a curly light hair and dark, kind of ominous eyes. She's gonna give you a very skeptical look. Who are you? What are you doing here?
My name is Perrin Amrosis. I was hoping for a rejuvenate treatment. If you're not interested in customers, of course I could leave.
She turns kind of an ironic, pouty face. I can tell you've never taken a rejuvenate treatment before.
No, I've had some changes in my life recently, and I'm feeling much younger, and I feel like I should look it.
Well, if you can afford it.
I guess this is when we see if I can afford it.
Yes, do a commerce test. You can choose commerce or straight up influence. It's up to you.
I'll do the influence.
Yeah.
Nope.
And by the way, we're fine with 4 players. She's just gonna give you a little chuckle. Goodbye.
And downcast, Perrin will walk out after just getting a read of who she is and whoever else is in the room.
Awesome. There is one other person sitting, waiting on kind of these kind of egg-shaped lounge chairs. And okay.
2 rolls with 5 degrees.
Excellent.
High psi rating on those, so fairly deep reading.
Beautiful. The lady's name is Britt Tien. She has a log of visitors. There is also a pleasure room, and she hesitates to give you access to them, even if you would have had the money.
Indeed. And the other person?
The other person is sitting there waiting for a treatment. You can see that the person is coming from a rogue trader's vessel and is here to kill time after the travel ban, so to speak.
And with that information, I believe I would just leave, walking out slightly disgruntled and angry, taking stomping steps down the stairs this time rather than taking the elevator, and getting out the front door.
Awesome. The rest of you see Perrin come out, kind of disappointed.
That's a lot of fucking stairs.
3 floors. That's fine.
And what do you do then? Perrin comes back.
So what did you find, Perrin?
The rejuvenate treatment is expensive. I thought I would be able to chill in there while you guys got in and asked your questions. They also have a pleasure side of the building that the receptionist was loath to give me access to, even if I had the money. Beyond that, not much.
Were you able to discern any reason why she would be hesitant?
Did I? Morton?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Microphone cut out.
See.
Yeah. So, you're guessing, looking at the guests who are covered in jewelry, displaying Aventinian kind of signs of wealth, and you're definitely not dressed like that.
I might have a solution for you guys if I want to pursue that action. I have these, and Perrin starts rooting around in the car, finally finding a box of neatly folded nobleman's clothing
Yes.
from Caius's manor.
Indeed.
Do we
So-
have any other jewelry or accessories?
I believe Callus has.
Oh,
Unless you include my respirator as an accessory.
So anything that AFK characters has, you have access to.
Yeah, there
Okay.
should be a bunch of jewelry somewhere.
You're right.
I remember
So-
I grabbed the clothes and someone else grabbed the jewelry.
so if that's the case, could you change your shape?
Right.
Because you'll probably pick up more information with your stuff.
Well, there is more than
Then-
one setting here if you want to go in. It might be a bit hard on you, Victor, but I think the rest of us could pass.
I could try.
Is there any possible way that I could hack into the jeweled consulate from out here, or do I need to find a terminal inside?
Yes, but it's going to be very difficult.
So I can do it from out here.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll try that while the rest of us get changed.
Indeed. On the same note, do we see like any pict recorders as such at the entrance?
Yes. Everything, computer quarters covered on every street corner.
Are we smart enough to not have parked right in front? Is the question then?
Probably like
You would be
Okay.
smart enough to park a little bit away and kind of walk with your face covered and so on. I
Great.
would assume, yeah. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna put on some of the nobleman's clothes and the accessories and stuff. Perrin, I suggest that you change your face before we do
Yes.
that.
Will do, and I will also drop my staff and walk with a straight back.
Wait, you don't need the staff?
No, I don't need the staff.
Then why do you
My
have
legs
the
are
staff? Why
fine.
do you walk like a limp?
Well, why do I walk
Follow-up
like a limb?
question. Don't think that I didn't. First of all, I wasn't going to bring this up, but why did he Naruto?
Where a what?
Why did he? Never mind. I'll bring it up later. Should have known not to ask questions.
Well, moment to point out. Once he points to his face, I don't think I will fit in, no matter how you dress me up.
I mean, if we
Illusion scars.
make that scar a little bit less prominent, I'm sure you could pass as a
You got concealer.
Forsaken noble.
Well, if you
Pass
think you do some
yourself off
magic
as
with
as a local return from the Imperial Guard. Coming from a highborn family, leadership position.
Or just the thrill-seeking kind that loves hunting out on the outside of the city.
Wow, shaped flesh. So I'm imagining you're sitting in the vehicle now, kind of in a half circle, talking amongst yourselves. How are we gonna do this? You pull out the jewelry, put it out on the table. One of you decides to play the noble.
Screw it, I'm hired guard for the noble.
Excellent.
Which one wants to play the noble?
It's easier.
Oh, from the way you speak, Raish, I'm sure you could play the noble, and I could be your wise attendant.
You're my attaché consular.
Naturally.
We'll try to clean myself up a little bit, though. I will say that.
Yeah, put on some deodorant first.
On some deodorant, fucking wash my face.
Yeah, you notice that Perrin is sitting really far from you?
Change my underwear.
Everyone just takes like one kind of scoot away on the seat.
First time I've changed my underwear in 2 months.
And that is why I suggest
I'm joking. Joking.
I'm assuming you guys occasionally
we have a
change your
place to stay.
clothing
You
and-
don't need to stay in the same. Never mind.
Yeah. I'm assuming you occasionally take a
How the
shower
law of
and
the
stuff,
jungle works.
even though we don't talk about it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you get into your uniforms and costumes and so on, and so let's do the recap. Who's the noble?
Me, Reich.
Reich. Reich is dressed up as a noble. You look right for that. You're an Arbeit investigator. Probably look handsome enough. Look like you could have taken some rejuvenate treatments, even though you probably haven't. And you're gonna have a guard with you, and you're gonna have a cleaned up Adorno.
Yes. Looking subservient as I can.
What about Victor?
I'm going to start setting up a workstation inside of the vehicle as they're preparing to get ready. I want to create an extensive firewall to prevent any backtracking in case I do get caught.
Excellent.
By setting up proxies throughout the city and whatnot.
Yep. And you can do a -40 take use test.
Skull.
Because mine wouldn't take too long to do. I'm mostly just cleaning up. Would I be able to at least help him?
Sure.
Alright. So, I don't know if it's just going to give him advantage or if I need to do my own
If
roll.
you succeed, he gets a +10 to his results.
Okay, so I get a +10 from
hell
scribe
no.
time.
Hell
So
no.
I get a -30.
-30.
I will re-roll that with my inspiration.
Why is it? Oh, right, you had a minus there.
We're good at rolling 90s.
Very
so
good.
close.
I'm just so
One degree
amazed that I
failure.
haven't rolled a double yet.
Wait, let me double check.
Yeah,
and make
that's
sure I don't have
amazing,
any
Perrin. I was
bonuses.
just thinking about like, what the fuck? You roll so many psychic tests and not a single double. That's
And I roll all these like 97s and 98s. I'm just like, oh, good, no phenomena. Fail, but no phenomena.
It's a little bit weird now. Victor, you don't manage to
And you, by the way? Oh, sorry.
You would have to enter the building to access the cogitator.
Petri, is there anything that you would like me to drop in the building, or perhaps have Squall connect in the building?
I was going to say, I mean, that would be something that'd be up my alley a little bit to help you connect and everything.
Maybe something like a signal booster so you can actually get the signal of the cogitator from outside. So
I mean,
would you be able to alter my beat?
I mean, I guess we could try and create something like a transmitter that allows me access wirelessly into a terminal, rather than just having to brute force it.
That does seem like
how
more
about
elegant since we're walking in there anyway, right?
I'll change over my microbeat a little bit, change it from what it is per se to a transmitter.
Absolutely,
It does
you
the
can do
same
that.
principle. It'd be just a little bit.
Yes.
yeah, it just broadcasts a code. It just broadcasts a code instead of a frequency.
You can do that. And I'm gonna give you quite a difficult test, however, to
I'll retrofit it
to
then.
succeed. So to modify.
Try to
it,
help out on this just because of the principle.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a
And then him, or
-40 test on that, and if you fail, the Voxcaster is destroyed.
Microbeat, yeah.
Microbeat.
hey,
So what is it?
-40.
wait,
I just want to double check something.
Yes.
I believe in you. Beating again? No.
Okay, let's do this. Ah,
Oh,
Wait, don't you have
Her.
you have a +10 at least? Did anyone succeed on the assist?
The what?
The assist. Did anyone
You broke out
succeed?
mine.
Uh,
Oh,
anyone
I didn't even
else-
try to assist him.
Anyone else can roll assists.
I could try to.
to
Perry,
assist.
with his
Alright.
newfound eyes, will happily point out different colors and such.
Cut
I
the
can
blue
try
wire.
to. I can try to assist. It's probably not going to work, but oh my god,
Oh,
Perrin
wow.
actually succeeded. Never
Yeah.
mind.
You don't need to.
Aaron and me.
Everyone
it's the
is working
boys.
together on this tiny microbead. You're leaned over a table.
It's like about to break, and he's like, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. This is
See this
little
hulking
light.
like dreadnought just hovered over it as everybody's pointing out. No, go there.
Yeah, yeah. And you have this little pins that you try to manipulate the circuit board and the various wires. And Victor is probably like stopping you, like stop poking the machine spirit and so on. And then finally, you manage to get a little tiny signal in binary that you can transmit to any
Well,
commentator.
I will ask, does it still function as a comm bead as well, or is it just a
No.
transmitter?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
It's gone.
But I will wear it still as if it is a comm bead.
Nice. So basically what Victor does now is he connects it to a cogitator in the vehicle, and that through that he can wirelessly communicate with it.
Whee!
Anybody speak binary?
No.
Oops.
Alright, so we got our stakeout stuff. So we got our stakeout stuff. We got our costumes on. We looking good.
Yeah, we're looking good.
What do you
And
want?
like I said, I mean, Squall would have changed out his cloak for like a better cloak. Obviously, I mean, he cleaned himself up a little bit. It can at least look as a somewhat. He's not expected to be noble looking per se, but look more respectable as his, the guardsman for that.
Yeah, you kind of.
You look like somebody a noble will hire for some muscle.
Yeah, you look sit in the vehicle and you kind of put out the mirror and you clean off any dirt on your face, make your hair look nice. And,
Have made my respirator's colors be your quote-unquote family colors. It's one of those things that I cringe at, but it's like your
So you look representable. Do you want to walk up to the jewel consolidator again?
Sure.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Alright. So as you enter again these hallways, you notice one of these wealthy-looking guys. He kind of looks over in your direction, and he looks very suspicious at you, and pulls out a tiny pic recorder, and you see that he's starting to snap some pictures of you. What do you do?
Is this also a noble guy?
It looks like of a higher standing. You don't know whether he's noble.
I was not sure where we were that admired. Master, have you done anything recently that I don't know about? I asked politely as we're walking past.
Nice.
Nothing that my family would cut me off for.
I'm gonna scrutinize the guy heavily and also try to memorize him.
Try and see what his intentions are with the picture.
You're questioning him?
No, just like from the look at him, is he taking it because he wants a reference for later? Is he taking it because he doesn't know who we are? Is he taking it for some sort of other, to use it for some sort of other?
Your guess is as good as mine. You can't really tell.
You know what? Squall will actually walk up to the guy. Hey, and be like, may I ask why you are taking pictures?
The man is wearing an expensive fur coat covering his bionics, going around his neck to the back of his head. He's going to kind of pout up. He has a puffy, big face. He has a mole on his right cheek. And he's going to go, "Puff! What business is it of yours what I take a picture of? It is within my right. I live here.
Business when the safety of my master.
Your master isn't
Halt.
threatened by a picture recorder, is he?
Maybe not, but at the same time, he doesn't need it to be broadcasted where he moves, now does he? Would you like me to sit here and send somebody on your tail 24/7, randomly taking pictures?
I would advise you against threatening me. Especially
I will
here.
walk up to the. I will walk up to the noble.
Do you know who I am?
Sorry, Dario. Sorry, I'm sorry.
He's
He's
going
had
to raise his
a couple
staff.
of.
He has a
bad,
little-
he's had a couple of bad
has a little
interactions
gold
with
rod.
paparazzi.
As you step up, he's going to sort of point it at your chest, stopping you. Stop! You have no right to come up in my face. Do you know who I am?
No, we don't. Why would we?
Ridiculous behavior.
He's
You
not
introduce
from
yourself.
here. He's not from here. I picked him up on Juneau at a recommendation from a friend, and he's still on probation. I'm sorry. He's had a couple of bad run-ins with paparazzi in the past, and it triggered.
He performs a little surprised expression. Do a fellowship check. Probably deceive.
Yeah, Perrin will
Yeah.
help with the deceive.
Do it.
Wait, you're telling me he's not secretly a paparazzi hitman?
He's an Bitcoin assassin.
Never know. Never know.
Well, I don't succeed in helping you, but you still have a chance, right? Oh, yes.
Very
Oh.
barely.
That's a
he's
fine
gonna
line.
he's gonna kind of straighten out his neck. Very well. I apologize for getting in your way. Gonna seem kind of insulted, pouting.
I'm going to continue on towards the jeweler, but while pulling Squall away. Dario, I told you I will point out people that I want you to deal with.
He forms kind of a
Samantha.
confused expression, no longer seeming suspicious, just kind of slighted, and shaking his head. He just looks down at his pick recorder, which slowly lowers down to his belly. And then he kind of just walks off.
Before you actually pull me off, and before he actually truly walks off, Squall will sit there and just do a humble salute.
Nice.
I'll apologize on embarrassing you and my master. Sorry for the slip of etiquette.
Do take better care in the future. You never know who you run into.
I have your name, sir.
Kind of indulgence.
Then good day to you, sir. Hopefully the rest of your days will be more pleasurable.
He raises his nose as far up in the air as he possibly can, makes a little snuff, and walks off.
His name was Indulgence.
Yes. As
Or-
you enter the elevator, you're a little ping.
Must you try and beat the shit out of everybody we come in contact with?
Oh, I wasn't planning on beating him, but at the same time, my roll's perfect for that. Whether it's true or not, we at least got a name.
Yeah, that's true.
If you just need the name,
Where-
you might just tap my shoulder next time.
The walls in the room you step into are dark plasticrete, greenish, tan tiles on the floor, beautiful carpets, deep, exquisite furniture, and a man is still sitting there waiting. The woman looks over very quickly, kind of like a reptilian motion. She's wearing a Baroque dress, beautiful, puffy, bright hair, kind of lit up by the candles. She has small beady eyes and an extremely mean kind of expression as she looks at you. Her mouth is all shriveled up like a little dot. She's just gonna sigh as soon as you start walking up to the desk.
I give her a small bow. Ma'am, Me and my associates here are here to get comfortable. A bit of a reward for their service.
We don't have to roleplay everything that happens. Basically, you give your
Yes,
name.
we do.
No, we
give
don't.
your identification, everything, your cover story. Who are you? So who do you pretend to be?
Ludo Kresh, a noble from one of the yeah.
Totally off the top
That was
of
the
your
only
head.
name that came to mind.
Cool,
Yeah.
Cool.
From
No, it's
the
a good
Hive
name,
Spire,
just, yeah.
from the Hive Spires on Juno.
Yeah.
Came here on vacation from sponsored by my family and got stuck here during
Is he from the red light district?
Perhaps
Nice.
from the travel ban. He's unable to get out, so he's decided to bring his retainers and confidants here to essentially apologize for keeping them here for so long.
Believable story. I'm gonna give you a +10 test to obviously a deceive test.
Let's see how silver that tongue is on her thigh.
I got lucky last time. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh,
Well, that was Perrin.
All right, I'm going to re-roll that. Damn it.
assuming I cannot inspire him with my inspiration points.
Or could
Does
I
my helping
spend-
tip that over or
Oh,
not?
he did.
Question.
Perrin
Acting like a
Perrin
bumbling old man.
Perrin kind of pipes up and interrupts you, steps ahead, and is probably going to explain everything in very fine detail. The woman believes you, and says that you're welcome to take rejuvenate treatments and ask questions as well. What do you want to know, or what do you want to do? Basically, you guys can go in here. The basic treatment, as they call it, you can imagine what that is. There is also rejuvenate treatments. There is the equivalent of a spa, and otherwise you can ask her any questions you have.
Real fast, do I see any terminals floating around?
No. Do you still have your special sight, I don't know, where you can see through walls?
I do.
There is a cogitator under her desk.
Oh. Who wants to take one for the team?
Oh, fuck.
And yes, Perrin is basically gonna suggest to Raish that, let's see just if I provoke phenomenon or not.
If you what?
Mind, she's not the only one we gotta deal with.
Would
There's
I
somebody
be
else in the
able to-
lobby.
Would I be able to trigger some sort of fire alarm or something from out here?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Given what access I have to their systems, I'd like to find an audible alarm that they would have that would make the most sense for them having to evacuate said.
I'm basically just gonna suggest for Raish to keep the conversation flowing for a little bit until the other man leaves the room for his treatment, and then make her step away from the desk for a moment.
Okay.
Informing Squall as well that there's a cogitator underneath.
There are also a
ma'am,
camera in the lobby.
What kind of services does the house here offer?
So, as I said, you learned that you get rejuvenate treatments, basically look younger, change any kind of appearance. There's the equivalent of a spa, and some more intimate treatment.
Naturally, but my master is inquiring about what novelties he might have here. You know where he comes from. He has some experience after all.
She will kind of raise an eyebrow. And say,
Collector.
no, I have no idea.
Things
what
of
you're
more
talking about."
Can I spend influence for this and kind of go a more exotic take?
She's still gonna just look confused and not understand exactly what you mean.
Well, I guess you can't expect that sort of services everywhere.
Exotic, what do you mean by that?
Things that normal people, normies, might find taboo.
Asian twins dressed up as schoolgirls whipping him.
I didn't want to say specifics.
And Perry looks around, turns around and gives Skull a really angry look and just excuse me.
This is why
spell it
you're the guard and he's the confidant.
Nice. Interesting. Do a Forbidden Lore Heresy test. You get a +10 because you're believable.
Get a what?
You can also do yeah, Forbidden Lore Heresy.
Okay, any kind of modifier to that, or
Plus that.
Oh,
but I missed it by one.
I'm gonna let you succeed on that. Yes, there are some more expensive treatments. She would need an upfront payment. This basically involves things that could shut down the entire facility if anyone was to learn about it. Fortunately, you become an accomplice once you go through with it.
I understand the discretion needed.
He's becoming a Chaos Warrior.
Heretic.
At least I didn't say anything involving like Catholic priest or anything.
So basically, this means that you could install kind of heretical stuff and so on.
Could you show me where these are, Matt?
She raises an eyebrow, looks a little bit suspicious at you, goes,
I'd like to sample the merchandise. I obviously with the upfront payment and stuff like that.
I would have to see proof of your wealth before I point you to the place.
Could I, am I hearing this whole conversation?
Yep. You can do a minus.
Could I create a digital validation of his credentials while I'm in the van or in the car?
So hack your cogitator from the vehicle.
No,
Or
I'd
just
be
send it,
hacking,
or send me fake credentials to my datapad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
I'd be constructing falsified data.
What kind of credentials?
Credits.
Well, I'm going to use what knowledge I have of this area to choose a renowned bank or banking system
Probably a
that
trading
nobles
house.
would use.
So you would be attached to a trading house. Would probably be the equivalent. House Rosa would be the biggest one in the area.
I would try and make it look as extravagant as I possibly could. You know, maybe that he did some military training or whatnot, or something like that. Just make it like flawed.
Cool.
Like a couple bank bonds in it too, because bank bonds are kind of a lease from a bank without an actual signed lease. It's kind of a you have enough standing with a bank.
Yeah,
Say.
like they take a,
So-
they're willing to take a risk.
The way we're gonna do this is it's gonna rely on your information, Victor. Your knowledge.
Yep.
Yeah, because my influence is low as fuck.
First off, I want you to do a common lore chartists captains. I'm
At
gonna
what?
give you a -10.
Okay, so we're only flat 60. Hey, 3 degrees of success.
Nice.
Nice.
With that, you remember that the Greater Askellon Trade Combine is in charge of every agreement in the sector. You kind of pull out the whatever memories you have of them. The Greater Askellon Trade Combine have some principles that are, they approve all contracts. You never violate Imperial law, fulfill your obligations at all times, and no work is allowed outside the Combine. It was previously led by Zadori Welk. Now they are on Port Aquila. And you kind of remember all these details and who would have issued these bonds and so on. And you forge documents. Do a deceive test plus 20.
For me or for...
Victor. Sick. So you
Love
would
it.
have had 3% raw to succeed on that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be a deceive test because I'm not in person. but
Pokey is your co-pilot right now.
I know.
Good job, good job. You,
He's inspired by the autocannon in front of him.
awesome.
Worst case scenario, I'll just pull the trigger.
That'll make me feel better.
You managed to upload this completely believable story of the Trade Combine and the connections, and the woman believes you. She points you to a building in the southeast of the city. It doesn't have any signs, doesn't have any any indications, but it is an illegal rejuvenate facility.
Okay, so it's a separate building?
Yes.
Very
Work,
well.
too.
She gives you code words, whatever you need to access it.
Very well, ma'am. Thank you.
And you regain a fate point. Do any of you actually want to take a treatment here?
What exactly does it do, apart from make you look a little bit younger?
If you succeed, we would say, like if you do some kind of rejuvenate thing, short little thing, it would increase your fellowship.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm parrying this game.
Permanently?
Yep.
Would it heal my wounds?
Yeah, let's say it heals some wounds as well, and it would take you a full day though.
I could do better than myself. You might be a full day.
Yeah. We might want to go to the illegal place.
His character Squall would not, because it would separate him from his client for too long.
See if they could put some
Yeah.
oil on this old rust bucket.
We could go to the illegal place and then plant the transceiver there.
That's my thought. We'd probably get better dirt from that than we would here.
I think that is the
'Cause I
thought
don't
process
care about
most of us
people's
would
fetishes.
have. I think we would character turn to her and ask, are the standard treatments also available at the other facility?
Yes.
I'm happy to go wherever you wish, Master. It's your trip after all.
Yes, let's go to this more exciting location.
Nice.
And as we go into the elevator, just to Swall, if you ever enlist that kind of fetish shit, boy,
Never expose my fetishes. Don't talk about that.
how do
my
you
fault,
know
I
about? I
actually
mean,
did
how
it
did
right.
you make that up?
My fault, I'm good at reading people and hit you right on the head.
Well,
Plus,
shut up.
He gives you a fist bump. Like he just holds his fist up for a fist bump. That's all. He's just like, plus, and just holds his fist up.
Nice.
Subtle
So
acknowledgement of fellow man of culture.
I see you're a man of culture as well.
So all of you scurry over there. Very quickly, we can say you enter into a dark building. It doesn't look like a facility at all, and you enter the basement. There is a weird-looking guy there. Let me pull it up.
Looking than in Perrin.
Weirder looking than most of us.
Let's see. Yes. Okay.
Psychic
so,
presence or not in the building.
Yeah, so we can just do this quickly. Do a Sinitions test. Okay.
4 degrees.
Awesome. A powerful psychic signature in the basement. As soon as the guide, who's mute, leads you down very narrow stairs, the building looks bombed out. It's just the walls are falling apart. There are holes everywhere. You enter a place that smells like medicine, kind of oily and medicine. As soon as you pass through the door, there's just this wall-to-wall hanging wires, bottles, tubes. You see little vats of heads of small creatures. Definitely doesn't look like it's here to be presentable. This is just a big lab. At the end of it is a man with a white coat. He's wearing suspenders over the coat. He's quite fat, small. He has grey hair, kind of spiky grey hair, and a one bionic eye that is very big and kind of looks like a growth on his head, and is leaned over a table lit up with a blue neon light.
Also, who has the comm bead on?
Squall.
I
Okay.
have the hidden cogitator hacker thingamabobber.
Okay.
And I think that this is the case where I would just lean in to Squall and say, oh, we got a purple psyker somewhere here, so probably just drop that somewhere and I'll let you forget dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
Are
But
there
who's
any
going to let
Correct.
you forget that you
terminals near
wiped his
us?
mind?
Okay, what do you want to do? He doesn't pay any attention to you. He's just walking back and forth, picking up things.
Mm.
You
Are
can
there any
have a-
terminals near?
Yes, there is a cogitator. The entire table in the middle of the room is a cogitator, and you have to walk around it to reach the guy straight ahead.
All right,
Okay.
so I want to try to casually implant it on the cogitator as we go by.
As I approach the man and go, "Excuse me, sir,"
He looks
to
up
try and draw his
you.
attention to me.
You managed to do that. The guide steps into the room, and as you're distracting him, Victor, or who wanted to access the cogitator?
Victor would be accessing. I would just be trying to implant the device on it.
Gotcha.
It just needs to be contacting it, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be plugged in. Yeah.
So I would assume you make like a makeshift.
Just put some gum on the back of it and stick.
It would be like an input that you plug into the whatever it's called, the tech priests have. And,
Yeah, I would have put a data cable on it.
Yeah, you just plug it in, and through that it works just like a Trojan virus, and the rest is up to Victor. Victor, do a -30 tech use test.
Oh.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Oh!
And the computer explodes.
The entire building explodes and collapses on top of him.
Oh,
Game
much
over.
better.
Okay, Victor, you managed to communicate with the machine spirit in absolutely unique magical fashion. Very few others would be able to do this. Do a security test, -20.
Woo! Woo!
Sick. Okay, you're inside. So there are vast archives of visitors. What do you want to look for?
Nudie photos.
Nude photos? Hentai porn?
No.
Okay.
Well, I want to first look at any security details, like if they have any armed guards or anything, who they have on their page, things of that nature. Then I will download a client list.
Okay, so you're going through the security system and you're looking at the picture recordings. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Accessing the guest list, you can do a scrutiny test.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. That's all. You get the guest list.
Yay.
We can look it over later. We got the data.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
The guy inside kind of looks up.
Yes?
Yes, sir. I have come here to give my attaché a little more spring in his step. He's been my confidant since I was very young, and I'd like to keep him around.
Yes. You have all the information. What do you want?
Rejuve.
He's gonna look at him.
Very well. Sit down.
There is a very
Karen?
intimidating dentist-like table with a bunch of instruments that look kind of foreboding.
Yeah, Perrin makes a both excited but also a little bit worried expression as he walks over and sits down.
The man is gonna circle over you, needles, various instruments to hold your head in place, and so on. A mask is laid over Perrin's head, covering his face.
Oh, also before we get more in depth into this, I would also disable any recording devices that have any of my teammates on them.
Go in and delete the recordings. Got it.
Do you send a message about that?
Not particularly.
Okay, good.
So, Perrin, through the next hours, you're gonna feel pinpricks on your face. You're gonna feel almost like someone is popping little zits on your face. A burning sensation.
You.
It doesn't feel pleasant. Let's just put it that way.
He's getting Botox.
Yeah, you're getting Botox. Exactly.
Yeah, let's inject some poison into my face. Best idea ever.
Yeah.
That's not poison, it's the
Before.
love of the Emperor.
Ah,
It is a good pain.
And you wake up a few hours later. I assume the rest of you have been waiting outside. As you come back and see Adorna Perrin step up from the chair, the dentist chair, the light immediately fills his face. He looks like a puffed up jellyfish. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just this circular blob inside of his face. And it's completely puffed up.
That recording, I'll
Oh,
keep
by
for
the
personal
Emperor, you
use.
look good.
That's very good to hear, Master.
The man goes,
The swelling will go away in a few days. I hope.
Oh, it's
I hope.
some sort of bag over there for the next couple of days.
Yeah, will do, Master.
and Perrin, you can increase your fellowship by 1.
Oh my.
You look pompous.
Puffy
Yeah,
face for
you-
a few
you look
weeks
like a
for
pompous
one
ass.
fellowship. Done.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hold it. I
Next
found a
step,
picture of him
profit.
right now.
What I don't do to keep our cover.
That's
Beautiful
him right now.
inside. Good stuff, good stuff. So, with that, you download whatever guest lists they have, strip their databases clean, and you leave the facility.
Do I find nudie photos?
You find nudie photos of all angles.
Oh my
whatever
god.
Male and female
Blackmail.
guests.
No!
There's a
Oh, could we
filter.
use blackmail to increase our influence?
The tentacle.
There's like a filter where you can like search.
Depends
for
on how
different-
embarrassing it is.
different things, and you can like white, black, short, tall.
Oh yeah, I'm not planning on doing anything bad. I was just looking for black males.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I thought you meant blackmail.
Ah,
You find no black males in the world of 40k, unfortunately.
If you could
it's
see
very-
Victor's face, a frown appears upon it.
nice. There is, however, an entry of Caius Beline.
did he come with some sort of associate?
Yes, he did. He came with Weber Moan.
Oh,
Yeah, the one who was murdered.
Yes. The file even lists everything they have on these people. They do a complete background check, so their residence, their family even, and so on. Webermon is traced to a building that you now know the location of. His home.
that's pretty big clue.
Yeah.
So, the building is called Beatrix 2. It is in the north of the city. Going back into the vehicle, you sit down, close the doors. No indication that anyone knew what you were doing.
Should I leave my patented trademark on their desktop?
Be sure to take the on the way out, taking the microbead.
Yep.
They try and access their records. All that comes up is a really, really old, like, DSL fucking style. Get fucked, nerd.
I love.
Just to keep that subtlety, right?
Yeah. Nah.
It's just fucking intergalactic dial-up. Please wait
Yeah,
for the
or just
Emperor.
Make it look like it just blue screen.
Yeah. I'm assuming we would basically gather up and then start planning our next step with that.
Yeah, because our next step would be going to Weber Moan's house.
Awesome.
Is this a good place to round off, perhaps? I at least need to go.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta
So,
get
the
rest of my
next,
stuff.
next session, we can say that you drive over to his residence, kind of standing outside. You park the vehicle under some cover, pull over a tarp, get on your disguises.
Kiss the autocannon goodbye.
Yes. And
I was gonna
prepare.
say, you said it was evening time frame before we started in the last place, so it would be pretty. We've been at it all day, technically.
Yeah, well, you've been
Yeah.
there all night, I would say.
Okay, yeah, we woke up in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
So it's
okay,
the
cool.
start of the next day, I would say.
Right.
And standing outside, the sun is about to come up. It's a little bit chilly. You look around. Very few people out. Just some guards patrolling the bridges as you get ready to enter the building. That is a good place to start.